Hey everyone, tonight we're stepping far, far away from the comfortable glow of your screen. We're going to a place where the wind doesn't just blow, it scours, and the only light in the sky comes from the stars or from things that definitely shouldn't be there. You're going to stand on a patch of cold earth and watch as the heavens fall, handing an impossible new technology to a people who were just trying to get through the winter. And let's be honest, given the lack of Wi-Fi, breathable insulation, and snack foods, you probably wouldn't survive this for more than a day. I certainly wouldn't. So, before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe. But only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. It's always nice to see the numbers go up. While you're at it, post your location and local time in the comments. It's fascinating to see where everyone is tuning in from. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. The first thing you notice is the wind. It's not a background noise here, it's a presence. It's a physical weight pushing against the yak-hide flap of your dwelling. You pull your furs tighter. The land of the Nubatama is not a gentle place. It is a high cold steppe 1,000 miles from any ocean, 100 miles from the nearest semblance of a town. Your world is defined by rock, sparse, bitter grass, and a sky so vast it feels like a heavy blue lid. You are Nubatama. That means you are tough, you are practical, and you are tired. Your hands are cracked from the cold and from working the stiff, unforgiving hides. Your diet consists of millet, fermented mare's milk, and whatever stringy meat the hunters managed to drag back. Tonight, it's a stew that tastes suspiciously like the one from 2 nights ago, just with more water. You know, stone soup, but without the charming folktale ending, just the stones. Your people are masters of survival, existing on the absolute fringes. The great empires to the south and east, the ones building with shining bronze and some whisper the beginnings of iron, they don't know you exist, and you frankly don't care about them. Your concerns are immediate. Is the dung fire going to last the night? Will the wolves get brave? Has the goat milk soured? This is the reality of early nomadic life. Historians often emphasize the wandering aspect, but it's not a whimsical stroll. It's a desperate, calculated hunt for the next patch of grazing land, the next semi-reliable spring. You don't move for the scenery. You move because the patch of earth you're currently standing on is exhausted and can't feed you or your animals anymore. You are utterly, completely reliant on your immediate environment. Your small clan is huddled in a shallow basin, a slight dip in the endless plateau that offers a meager defense against the wind. The air smells of animal dung, sour milk, and the sharp mineral scent of the cold rocks. There's a quirk here, a local superstition. You never, ever whistle at night. To whistle is to mimic the wind, and to mimic the wind is to invite its spirit, a spiteful, chaotic thing, into your tent. It's a good way to get yourself exiled, or at least earn a sharp clout to the head from your grandmother. You've seen it happen. That wind spirit apparently really hates show tunes. There is a constant low-level hum to the camp. It's the sound of animals shifting, people muttering, and the endless abrasive song of the wind sliding over the felt tents. You are isolated, but you are not alone. You are part of a tight, suspicious, and deeply interconnected web. Everyone has a job. Everyone pulls their weight. The concept of personal time is as alien as the concept of citrus fruit. Historians still argue whether the Nubatama were a distinct ethnic group or just an isolated offshoot of the larger steppe cultures. The truth is, you don't care. You know your ancestors, you know your spirits, and you know the boundaries of your world. Those boundaries are the mountains to the east and the endless flat void to the west, and of course the ground beneath your feet and the sky above. You step outside your tent, bracing against the cold, to check on the animals. They are restless, pulling at their tethers. You look up, past the smoke rising in a ragged column from the camp. The sky is clear. A deep, cold, crystalline black, punctured by so many stars it looks like spilled salt. It is silent. Utterly, profoundly silent. The kind of silence that feels permanent, like the world has been this way for 1,000,000 years and will be this way for 1,000,000 more. It's the silence of a people who have mastered their tiny, harsh world. You are wrong. This crushing, ancient quiet is the perfect canvas for an interruption. The animals smell it before you see it. A goat bleats, a nervous, high-pitched sound. The dogs, Usually silent sentinels begin to whine and crowd against your legs. You trust their instincts. You scan the horizon. Nothing. You look up again. The stars are all in their places. The familiar patterns, the hunter, the river, the celestial goat, are exactly where they should be. You're about to go back inside, to the relative warmth and the smell of boiled whatever, when you feel a change. Not a sound, but a feeling. The wind has stopped. Completely. In the land of the Nubatama, the wind never stops. The silence is suddenly so total it's a roar. And it is in this perfect, terrifying, unnatural stillness that the sky begins to whisper. The whisper isn't a whisper. It's a vibration. You feel it in the frozen ground, a low thrum that climbs up your felt boots and into your teeth. The dogs are flat on the ground now, whimpering, their ears pressed against the dirt. You are frozen, not by the cold, but by a primal stomach-dropping dread. The air has gone from silent to charged. It tastes metallic, like licking a bronze knife. You look up and the stars are betraying you. One of them, a bright star in the celestial goat, suddenly moves. It's not a gentle slide. It's a violent, drunken lurch. Then another moves, and another. The sky, your one constant, the clock and map that has guided your people for generations, is coming apart. A streak of brilliant, sickly green light tears the blackness in half. It's not the gentle, familiar yellow of a campfire. It's a light so bright it hurts, so alien it feels like a personal insult. It casts hard, black shadows that dance and leap across the basin. You see the terrified, pale face of your neighbor, a man you've known your whole life. And he looks like a skull. He looks like a ghost. You probably look the same. Then comes the noise. It's not the sharp crack of thunder you know from summer storms. This is a sound that rips the air. It's a cosmic tear. A groan so low it shakes your bones, followed by a screaming whistle that feels like it's burrowing directly into your ears. You clap your hands over your ears, but it doesn't help because the sound is inside you now. More streaks appear. Green, white, a terrifying, angry red. The sky is bleeding. They are racing each other, a silent, terrible army descending on your tiny, insignificant patch of earth. It's the most beautiful thing you have ever seen, and you are certain it is the end of the world. Your mind, struggling to categorize this, fails. These aren't meteorites. That word doesn't exist. These are the spears of the gods. The sky is falling. The world is breaking. A new star is born, directly above you. It's not a streak, but a bloom. It swells from a point of light to a blinding, furious flower of white fire that washes out the entire sky. For a second, it is brighter than the noonday sun. You are blinded, seeing a purple-black void. The light is so intense you feel a wave of heat wash over your face, instantly drying the cold sweat on your brow. This, you think, must be what it's like to be cooked. At least it's faster than the stew. Then the shock wave hits. It's not a sound, it's a thing. It's a physical blow. You are knocked off your feet, sent sprawling into the dirt and animal waste. The air is punched from your lungs. The Yakai tents are flattened, not torn, but pressed into the ground, as if by a giant, invisible hand. The sound is a physical explosion that seems to last for 30 seconds. A deafening, continuous roar that shatters the world. You can feel the ground itself bucking beneath you, a solid, percussive thump-thump-thump as if a giant is running past. Historians still argue whether this was a single, massive bolide that broke up in the atmosphere or a protracted shower of smaller, distinct meteorites. The oral traditions that survived are understandably a little chaotic. They describe a rain of fire, a sun at midnight, and the mountain that flew, which doesn't exactly narrow it down for the geologists. You lie on the shaking ground, your ears ringing with an awful, high-pitched whine. The air is thick. It stinks. It's a smell you've never encountered. A sharp, overpowering odor of scorched rock and something metallic, like a smith's forge doused in sulfur. Ozone. Your ancestors would have called it the breath of the angry god. You just call it terrifying. The main light has faded, but the sky is not dark. The streaks of fire are gone, but their trails remain. The sky is scarred, crisscrossed with glowing, smoky green ribbons that pulse like spectral wounds. They hang there, a celestial graffiti that says we were here. And then, one final act. To the west, maybe 5, maybe 10 miles away, it is impossible to tell in the alien light. One of the largest streaks didn't burn out. You watched it fall. It seemed to slow down, a fat, wobbling spear of red-hot anger, and it hit the earth. You don't see the impact, you see the result. A column of dirt and fire erupts from the horizon. It just climbs. A silent, growing mushroom of debris that punches up into the sky, blotting out the remaining stars in that direction. A few seconds later, the ground gives one last, violent heave, a final definitive thud that feels like the world has just been fatally wounded. The Nubatama psyche is not scarred. It is shattered and reforged in this moment. Everything you knew, the permanence of the earth, the reliability of the sky, your own insignificance has been both confirmed and utterly inverted. You were insignificant. But now the gods, or the sky or something, has taken a personal, violent interest in your tiny, wind-blown home. The world is no longer just harsh. It is actively hostile and deeply, deeply strange. You push yourself up, your knees shaking. The camp is destroyed. People are screaming. Animals are running, their tethers snapped. But you are not looking at the camp. You are staring at the west, at the column of smoke and dust rising from the horizon, glowing a dull, angry red from within. The world didn't end, but something new just arrived, and it is waiting in the dark. The ringing in your ears fades, replaced by the sounds of your world ending, or at least being very seriously inconvenienced. People are screaming, a thin, sharp sound in the vast, wounded silence. A child is wailing, a monotonous, terrified noise. The camp is a wreck. Tents are flattened, possessions scattered, and the precious, meager supply of dried dung fuel is spread across the basin. Your animals are gone. The ones that weren't instantly crushed have bolted into the scarred night. You stand up, brushing pulverized dirt from your fur tunic. Your knee is bleeding. You barely notice the camp, the chaos, the screaming. It all feels very small. Your gaze is locked on the western horizon. The pillar of dust has begun to settle, but the glow remains. It's a deep, angry, pulsing red, like the embers of a forge the size of a mountain. It's not a grass fire. You know what those look like. This is too steady, too solid. It's a light that seems to be coming from the earth, not on it. It's the color of a fresh wound. You spend the rest of the night in a daze. The Nubatama are practical. You salvage. You find the wounded. You rebuild the tents, your fingers fumbling with the cold, stiff hide and broken poles. You count the survivors. But through it all, there's a new, sick anxiety. Every conversation is a whisper. Every sudden noise makes people flinch. The sky, your old, boring friend, is now a potential murderer. When the first hint of dawn finally cracks the east, it's a relief. But the gray light reveals the full extent of the damage, and something more. The land to the west is wrong. It's not just the lingering column of smoke. The ground itself is dusted with a fine, dark ash. There are new rocks scattered everywhere, black, porous, and sharp. They smell of that same metallic, sulfurous stink. A debate begins, huddled and fearful. The shaman, a woman whose grandmother saw the last great drought, is shaking. Her ritual drums are cracked. This is bad. This is very bad. The spirits of the earth and sky are at war, and you are trapped in the middle. The consensus is simple. Leave. Pack what little is left and run east, away from the scar, away from the glowing wound. But you don't. You find yourself standing with a few others. The outcasts. The young hunter whose bravado is stronger than his sense. The old woman who lost her entire family and has nothing left to fear. Maybe you're one of them, or maybe you're just the camp's designated. I wonder what happens if I poke its specialist. A small, grim-faced party of maybe 5 or 6. You don't say much. You just nod, check the water skin you salvaged, and pick up your bronze-tipped spear. You walk west. The journey is a nightmare. The ground is unsteady, littered with the strange black stones. In the dim morning light, You realize some of them are still hot. You see a rabbit flash-broiled in its own burrow, a perfectly cooked, tragic little statue. You resist the urge to pocket it for later. It feels like eating a god's leftovers, which is generally bad for your spiritual digestion. The air gets thicker as you approach. The metallic ozone smell is so strong it makes your eyes water and your throat burn. You're walking on ground that 12 hours ago was just empty, frozen steppe. Now it's a geological crime scene. Historians and geologists often study the strewn field, the area where the smaller fragments of a meteorite shower land. You are walking through one. You're seeing rocks that have spent 4.5 billion years in the cold, silent vacuum of space, and they are now smoking gently in the cold, silent air of your homeland. As you get closer, the scale of the thing becomes impossible to process. The glowing ember is not a single point. It's a vast circular thing on the horizon. You've been walking for hours, and it's finally coming into view. You reach the lip, and you stop. You're standing on the edge of a wound. The earth, which you always thought of as solid and permanent, has been peeled back like a piece of fruit. The land is upturned. You can see layers, rock, clay, more rock, flipped inside out and thrown for hundreds of yards. The crater isn't a neat bowl-shaped hole. It's a jagged, violent, circular splash pattern, frozen in time. It's easily 1/2 mile across. It is smoking. Not with fire, but with steam. The impact was so hot it instantly vaporized all the moisture in the ground, and now that steam is hissing from 1,000 cracks and vents around the rim. It's a chorus of angry, sulfurous sighs. The glowing you saw from the camp wasn't fire. It was the raw, incandescent heat of the rock itself, now cooling in the morning air. Historians still argue whether the first people to approach a fresh impact site would have been seen as heroes, priests, or simply fools. Were you on a sacred quest, or were you just the cleanup crew, dangerously tainted by this celestial event? Your companions look as pale and terrified as you feel. No one is planting a flag. You edge closer, your feet sliding on the loose, glassy scree. The center of the crater is a mess of melted, twisted black rock. The impact flash melted the silica in the dirt, creating glassy, unnatural shapes, known today as impactites or tektites. To you, they look like the entrails of some great glassy beast, but your eyes are drawn past the steam, past the glass, to the very center, the epicenter, the place where the world broke. It's hard to see through the hissing vapor, but there is something down there. It's not glowing, it's not smoking. It's just dark. A dense, unnatural black shape, half buried in the floor of the crater, sitting with a terrible, patient stillness. It's a rock, but it's a rock that fell from the sky, and it is waiting for you. The steam hisses at you. It's a chorus of warnings. The ground at the lip of the crater is hot, and the air you're breathing is a toxic soup of sulfur and scorched earth. It's a terrible place. It smells like the world's worst cooked meal, and the chef was a dragon with a grudge. Your companions are pale, their faces streaked with the fine, dark ash that now covers everything. No one wants to go down there. And yet, that dark thing in the center is pulling at you, not with a physical force, but with the irresistible gravity of the unknown. It is the heart of the event. It's the answer, even if the answer is just, you're all doomed. You slide. There's no dignified way to descend. The inner wall isn't firm earth. It's a loose, nightmarish slurry of pulverized rock, melted glass, and upended strata. You're half climbing, half falling, your boots sinking into warm, ashy silt. With every step, a puff of acrid steam shoots from the ground, as if the earth is resentful you're here. As you reach the crater floor, the world shrinks. The only thing you can see is the shattered circular wall around you and the patch of wounded sky above. The sounds are muffled, just the hiss of steam and the ragged sound of your own breathing. The air is so thick with ozone it makes your teeth ache. And there it is. It's not a rock. Rocks are familiar. They are gray or brown or streaked with quartz. They are part of the land. This is a presence. It's a lump of pure, absolute black, half buried in the pulverized floor. It's about the size of a large sleeping animal, a yak maybe. But its shape is all wrong. It's not smooth. The surface is pocked with what look like thumbprints, thousands of them pressed into the metal as if a giant had gripped it while it was still soft and molten. We call this a regmaglypt pattern, the signature of atmospheric melting. You just call it deeply, deeply unsettling. Your small group circles it, keeping a respectful distance of about 20 feet. That feels safe. Ish. The outcast hunter, the one who's always a bit too brave, nudges the dirt near it with his spear. The steam hisses. The rock does nothing. It just sits there, absorbing the light, radiating a palpable stillness. Historians still argue whether the first people to encounter these objects treated them with immediate sacred reverence or with profound abject terror, viewing them as a celestial contagion. Looking at the pale, sweating faces of your companions, you're pretty sure abject terror is winning the debate. This isn't a gift, it's an intruder. But you have to know, you came all this way, you're the poke it specialist, remember? You step forward. The others don't stop you, but they definitely take a step back, which feels supportive. You pull off one of your hide mittens, your hand instantly stinging in the cold, sulfurous air. You reach out, your fingers trembling, and you press your palm against the black thumb-printed surface. Cold. It's not just cold, it's an aggressive, biting cold. The ground you're standing on is literally steaming. The rocks around you are hot to the touch, but this heavenstone feels like it has swallowed a piece of the deep, absolute zero of the night sky. It's a cold that feels wrong. It's a dead, heavy cold that seems to pull the heat straight from your bones. You snatch your hand back, a sharp sting in your palm. There's a smaller piece nearby, a fragment the size of your fist, clearly shattered from the main body on impact. You lean down to pick it up. You can't. You brace yourself, squat, and try again, using both hands. Your fingers strain, your back muscles scream. It is heavy. This isn't rock heavy, this is nailed to the planet heavy. You've lifted rocks this size your whole life. This is a trick. It's an impossible, malicious weight. This is the mainstream scientific fact. Meteoritic iron, a dense alloy of iron, and nickel, is significantly heavier than any terrestrial rock you would have ever encountered. To you, it's not science, it's witchcraft. Finally, with a grunt that tears your throat, you and the brave, stupid hunter manage to heave the fist-sized piece just a few inches off the ground. It's a struggle. You are holding a piece of stone that weighs as much as a small child, and then the hunter lets out a small, terrified squeak. He's holding his bronze-tipped spear near the main mass, and the spearhead is tugging. You watch, frozen. He's not touching the rock. He's holding the spear an inch away, and the spear is trembling in his hand, trying to leap from his grasp and stick to the heavenstone. This, of course, is magnetism, a property of iron meteorites. But you don't have a word for that. You have a word for alive. You have a word for hungry. You have a word for spirit. This is the quirky tidbit, the final straw. A rock that is colder than ice, heavier than granite, and pulls on your weapons. That's it. You're done. The poke has been poked. The experiment is over. With a final, desperate heave, you and the hunter lift the fist-sized fragment, staggering under its absurd, offensive weight. You don't look back. You scramble, slip, and claw your way back up the crater wall, back into the world of the living. You burst out onto the ashy plain, gasping for clean air, the terrible, cold, heavy thing clutched between you. You've done it, you've visited the wound, and you have stolen a piece of its heart. A piece of the sky that fell to earth, and it is very, very angry. The walk back to the camp is the longest mile of your life. The thing you're carrying, this fist-sized piece of the night sky, is a spiteful, dense, and utterly draining burden. It's not just the weight, which is still comical. It's the cold. You've rewrapped your hands in hide, but the unnatural chill seeps through, making your fingers ache and your bones feel brittle. You and the hunter pass it back and forth, then just decide to carry it together, staggering like two drunks carrying a very small, very heavy goat. You stumble back into the ruined basin. The sun is high, a pale, indifferent white disk in a sky that still looks bruised and smoky. The rest of the clan sees you. They don't cheer. They don't run to help. They back away. They form a wide, silent circle, Their faces a mixture of ash, grime, and pure undiluted terror. They aren't looking at you, the heroes. They are looking at the thing you carry. You are tainted. You are the ones who touched the wound. You and the hunter look at each other, nod, and with a shared grunt you drop the heaven stone in the center of the camp. You don't drop it from a height. You respectfully place it on the dirt because you have a genuine fear that dropping it from 3 feet up might crack the continent in half. It sits there, black, thumb-printed, and utterly alien. The crowd parts, and the shaman approaches. Her name is, in your language, something like "she who listens to the wind," but you just think of her as Old Bone. She's the one whose authority was just, well, flattened along with the tents. Her worldview, her rituals, her entire understanding of the spirits of the earth and sky, all of it was proven tragically incomplete last night. She is walking on shaky ground, both literally and metaphorically. She stops a solid 10 feet from the stone. She doesn't touch it. She's old, but she's not stupid. She circles it, her ritual stick, which looks suspiciously like a regular stick, held out in front of her. She chants, her voice a dry rattle. She's trying to reclaim the narrative, to fit this celestial square peg into the round, comfortable hole of her traditions. She throws a pinch of dried sacred herbs at it. The herbs land on the black surface, and just sit there, looking like rejected garnish. The stone clearly is unimpressed. This is it. This is the mainstream historical fact of your time. When the unknown appears, it is the job of the shaman, the priest, the mystic, to interpret it. To give the terror a name and a purpose so that you can all get on with the business of not starving to death. A man from the back of the crowd, the one whose prized yaks bolted, finally breaks the silence. "It is a curse," he shouts, his voice cracking. "It is a poison star. It burned the air, it broke the earth. We must take it back, throw it back in the hole. Or better yet, we leave." A murmur of agreement. This feels right. It's a bad thing. Get rid of the bad thing. But the hunter who went with you, still panting, his face pale, steps forward. "No," he says. "It is strong." He describes the pulling spirit that tugged at his bronze spear. He describes the impossible weight. The sky gods have sent us a gift, a new power. The clan is now split. Curse or gift, poison or power. Everyone turns back to Old Bone. This is her moment. Her entire job is hanging by this thread. She's been chanting and walking, and now she does something odd. She leans down, her ear close to the stone, but not touching it. She is listening to it. Then she takes her ritual stick, the one she uses to tap her cracked drums, and she taps the stone. This is the quirky tidbit, the thing that changes everything. When you tap a normal rock, you get a dull thud, a clack. When Old Bone taps this high-density, crystalline, ironical thing, it doesn't thud. It sings, a single, high, clear, resonant note. A perfect, bell-like ping. The sound hangs in the cold, smoky air for a second, a pure, alien sound that a rock has no business making. The entire clan flinches. Old Bone herself scrambles back, her eyes wide with something new. Not just fear. Awe. Historians still argue whether the reverence for smiths and metallurgy began as a purely practical trade. We need a sharper thing. Or if it was, from its very inception, a sacred, shamanistic, and magical art. You are watching that debate get settled. This metal isn't ore, this metal isn't practical. This metal is a spirit. It has a voice. The shaman, Old Bone, straightens up. She has her answer. She has her narrative. "It is not a curse," she proclaims, and half the crowd sighs in relief. "It is not a gift," she adds, and the other half grumbles. "It is a test." "Oh, fantastic. A celestial pop quiz." She points her stick at the singing, heavy, cold, pulling stone. The sky roof is broken. The spirits have sent us a bone from a sky beast. It is cold. It is strong. It sings. To flee it is to prove we are cowards. To worship it is to be its slaves. She turns, her gaze sweeping the crowd, and it lands on one man. Not a hunter, not a shaman, the man who tends the fires, the one who mends the bronze cooking pots, the smith. He's been staring at the stone this whole time, not with fear, but with a terrifying, obsessive, professional hunger. We, the shaman declares, her voice ringing with newfound authority, must master it. We must learn its song. We must break it and bind it to our will. We must make the sky spirit ours. The debate is over. The shaman has just handed an impossible, divine engineering challenge to the most practical man in the camp. And as you watch the smith slowly, cautiously approach the black stone, his hands flexing and unflexing, you get the distinct cold feeling that the truly hard part hasn't even started. The crowd is watching you. Not you, but you, the smith. Let's call you Tarn. It feels like a solid, sooty, no-nonsense name. And you, Tarn, have just been handed an impossible, divine, and frankly quite rude assignment by the shaman. She's pointed her stick, declared this thing a test, and now she's stepped back, arms folded, to watch you, the practical guy, handle the spiritual crisis. The pressure is immense. It's like being told to fix the sky and your only tool is a bent bronze needle. You are a man of muscle and calluses. You understand grain in wood, cracks in pots, and the precise, dull red look of bronze just before it's ready to pour. You are a problem solver. And this black singing, cold, heavy thing is the ultimate problem. You walk toward it, the circle of your clanmates parting for you, their fear a palpable, cold draft. You are now the clan's designated poker of the god thing. Congratulations on the promotion. You don't start by hitting it. That's for fools and heroes, and you're not sure you're either. You are a craftsman. You examine. You get on your knees, your face close to the cold, thumb-printed surface. You run your thick, scarred fingers over the regmaglyphs. You're feeling for a grain, a fault line, a seam, a place to insert a wedge. The stone is seamless. It feels wrong. It's not like any rock you've ever touched. It's too smooth, too dense. It feels less like a rock and more like a piece of a giant solidified night. There is no weakness. So you will have to make one. You signal to your apprentice, a young man who looks like he's about to be sick on your boots. The tools, you grunt. He scrambles to get your precious hide-wrapped roll. These are your treasures, traded for, inherited, and guarded jealously. You unroll it. You select your finest, heaviest bronze chisel. This is your pride. You spent a whole moon grinding that edge, and it's sharp enough to split a yaker. You place the greenish-gold tip against the black stone. You heft your heaviest maul, a perfectly balanced thing of granite and hickory. You take a breath. The entire clan takes a breath with you. The silence is absolute. Whack. The sound is just wrong. It's not the satisfying, sharp crack of splitting. It's a dull, absorbent thud, as if you've hit a mountain with a piece of fruit. The maul handle vibrates so violently it stings your palms, the shock traveling up your arms and rattling your teeth. And the stone, it answers. It doesn't crack. It sings, a low, resonant, angry boom that shivers in the air, a sound of pure metallic mockery. You look down. The clan lets out a single, horrified gasp. Your beautiful, perfect bronze chisel. The tip, it's curled. It's bent back on itself, hopelessly blunted like a piece of wet clay. You look at the heavenstone. Not a scratch. It is, if anything, more perfect. It's as if it's absorbed the insult and is now slightly smug. Your professional pride is now a raging open wound. This rock just spat on your life's work. You throw the ruined chisel aside. The other one you growl. Your apprentice's eyes go wide. He knows which one. He fumbles in the bag and brings it out, holding it like it's a sacred, angry snake. This is the new metal. The south metal, iron. A thick, black, brittle-looking wedge. This is the mainstream historical fact. You are living in a world of bronze, but iron is starting to appear. It's not the flexible steel of later ages. It's often bog iron, carbon-rich and brittle, but incredibly hard. This single wedge cost your clan a dozen perfect hides at a trading post 3 moons walk from here. It is your ultimate tool. Your, in case of emergency, break godrock tool. Historians still argue whether the status of smiths in pre-literate societies was that of a simple, skilled laborer, like a potter or if they were always seen as holders of a secret, almost dangerous, quasi-magical knowledge. You are watching that debate get settled right now. If you fail, you're just a noisy laborer with broken toys. If you succeed, you set the iron wedge. You're not hitting it alone. You call over the 2 strongest men in the clan, the ones who wrestle the yaks for branding. Here you command, pointing. Hit as 1. They grab their own heavy mauls. This isn't precision. This is brute force. Now! You roar. The 3 mauls strike in a single, desperate, grunting blow. Crack. The sound is sharp, final, and loud. But it's not the stone. The precious, irreplaceable, yak-costing iron wedge explodes. It shatters into 4 hot, sharp pieces. One piece zings past your ear, close enough for you to feel its heat. Another embeds itself, thwanging in a nearby tent pole. You are left staring at a useless 2-inch stub of iron sitting mockingly on the black stone surface. The stone has defeated your Bronze Age. It has defeated your Iron Age. It has done this in less than 2 minutes. The silence that follows is terrifying. The clan is no longer just scared of the rock, they are scared of you, the smith who just proved how utterly, hopelessly outmatched you all are. But you're not done. You're out of tools, but you're not out of ideas. You are angry. You are thinking of your grandfather's grandfather and the one story he told about breaking the quarry stones. Fire, you rasp. Fuel, all of it. The dung, the brush, the spare hides. Pile it. Pile it on the stone. This is the quirky tidbit. Thermal shock. The last, desperate gamble of ancient engineers. If you can't break it, heat it until it's screaming, then hit it with its opposite. They build a massive, wasteful, glorious pyre on the black stone. They light it. The fire roars, a man-made defiance. Water, you yell. They bring the clan's entire precious supply of drinking water. A dangerously stupid move. Now, they douse the pyre. Whoosh! A cloud of steam erupts thick and acrid, smelling of wet ash and that now familiar ozone. It's like the crater all over again, a hot, wet, blinding fog. You all wait, coughing. The steam slowly clears. The stone is revealed. It's not cracked. It's not split. It's just cleaner. The fire and water have washed off the last of the crater dust. It is now a shining, glistening, gleaming black. It looks refreshed, like it just had a lovely, relaxing spa day. The smiths drop their empty water skins, that's it. They are beaten. Their best tools, their strongest force, their oldest trick, all failed. The shaman, Old Bone, clears her throat and says, "The test is very hard." You, however, are no longer looking at the clan. You are staring at the stone. The humiliation is fading, replaced by a cold, burning professional obsession. You can't break it. Fine. You'll have to unmake it. You're not thinking about breaking anymore. You're thinking about fire. Not a little fire. You're thinking about your forge. And you're thinking it's not going to be nearly hot enough. You are not just a smith. You are, at this moment, a deeply humiliated artist. The shaman's test is one thing. The clan's silent, fearful judgment is another. But that rock mocked you. It ruined your best bronze chisel, shattered your priceless iron wedge, and then, after a full-on thermal shock, it just sat there clean and smug, as if it enjoyed the spa day. Your humiliation is a cold, hard stone. But it is now being rapidly replaced by a hot, white, burning fury. This is your domain. Fire. Heat. Transformation. You are the man who turns useless, lumpy ore into needles, pots, and spearheads. You are the man who makes the world malleable. This black singing intruder has challenged you on your own ground. You can't break it. Fine. You will unmake it. You will turn it back into the liquid nothing it came from. You will melt it. The forge, you rasp. Your voice sounds like 2 rocks grinding together. Your apprentice, who still looks like he's chewing a wasp, just blinks. Master. The forge? Move the stone to the forge. This is in itself a ridiculous challenge. It takes you, the apprentice and the 2 yak wrestlers, to heave the fist-sized fragment, which still weighs more than a side of beef, onto a hide sledge and drag it, groaning, across the 50 feet of ruined camp. The stone sings its high, clear ping every time it bumps a rock, a continuous, insulting commentary. You arrive at your forge. Let's be honest, it's a hole in the ground. It's a carefully dug pit, maybe 3 feet across, lined with a thick layer of special river clay that you know won't explode when it gets hot. A single clay pipe, a tuyere, angles down into the bottom, connected to a pair of floppy yak-hide bellows. This is the mainstream historical fact of your life. This is a bloomery forge. It's the absolute peak of Nubatama thermal technology. It can melt bronze for your pots. On a good day, with the wind just right and the spirits feeling generous, you can almost get it hot enough to make Boguran bloom, to turn it into a spongy, unworkable but still solid mass. Melting iron? That's not a thing. That's a children's story. But this isn't iron. This is something else. And you are going to make it bleed. Charcoal, you command. No, not that. The good charcoal, the hardwood, all of it. Your apprentice's eyes go wide. That's the supply for the entire winter. That's the charcoal for mending every broken pot and spearhead until the spring thaw. All of it, you repeat, your voice dead. He runs. You meticulously line the pit. You place the heavenstone in the very center, as if on an altar. You pack the good, dry, dense charcoal around it, tamping it down, creating a perfect black nest. You light it, nursing the flame, feeding it until the pit is a cheerful, roaring orange. This is the easy part. Bellows, you grunt, pointing at the 2 yak wrestlers. Your apprentice is too weak. You need power. They start to pump. A steady, rhythmic whoosh-thump, whoosh-thump. The orange fire brightens to a sharp, angry yellow. You add more charcoal, building a mound over the stone. The roar of the fire intensifies. The air wavers with heat. You, standing 3 feet away in your thick leather apron, are already drenched in sweat. The smell of scorched hair and ozone fills the air. You are trying to melt a nickel-iron alloy with a melting point of over 1,500 degrees Celsius. Your Bronze Age forge, even at its absolute screaming breaking point, can maybe touch 1,100 degrees Celsius. You are trying to boil an ocean with a candle. You are destined to fail. But you don't know that, you just know hotter. Faster, you roar at the men. They grunt, their muscles straining, pumping the bellows. The sound is a continuous, deafening whoosh. The fire is no longer yellow. It is a blinding, brilliant white hole in the world. The clay lining of the pit itself is starting to glow. This is too hot. You've never had a fire this hot. You are, in fact, slowly destroying your own forge. And this is where the quirky, terrifying tidbit happens. You need to check the stone. You grab your one remaining heavy iron poker, the one the stone didn't shatter. You go to push aside the charcoal, and the poker is yanked from your hand. Clang. It doesn't fall in. It slams sideways, vibrating, stuck fast to the heavenstone, which is still buried under a mountain of white-hot coals. The stone is magnetic, and the heat has not changed that. It's holding your tool. You let out an involuntary, terrified yelp. The men at the bellows falter. Keep pumping, you scream. You wrestle with the poker. It's like trying to pull a spear from a living, angry beast. You finally wrench it free. It's not just hot, it feels alive. Historians still argue whether the discovery of ironworking was a single eureka moment, where some genius found a way to build a hotter forge, or if it was a long, frustrating, incremental process of smiths failing to melt an ore, but in that failure accidentally creating a bloom, a spongy, solid mass they could then hammer. You are having that exact failure right now on a celestial, epic scale. Hours pass, or maybe minutes. Time has melted. The 2 men on the bellows have been replaced twice. Your forge is screaming. The clay walls are visibly slumping, starting to vitrify and crack. It's now or never. The forge is dying. Enough, you rasp. The pumping stops. The roar fades. The entire clan, which has been watching from a very safe distance, leans in. You take your poker, the one the rock tried to eat, and you begin to rake away the white-hot charcoal. The pile sinks, the embers part, and you see it. It's sitting at the bottom of the ruined, cracked, and slumping forge pit. It is not liquid. It is not a puddle of unmade nothing. It is not even soft. It is perfectly, horrifyingly, smugly intact. It hasn't melted. It hasn't changed its thumb-printed alien shape at all, but it is glowing. Not the yellow-white of the fire, not the dull red of cooling iron. It's glowing with an angry, defiant, unnatural color, a deep, pulsing, purple-tinged red that seems to drink the light around it. It is the color of a bruise in the heart of a star. It is the color of defiance. The forge is broken, the winter fuel is gone, the smith is beaten, and the stone is just sitting there, glowing with that insulting, defiant color, pulsing in the ruins of your world. The glow fades. It takes hours. Hours where you, Tarn the Smith, just sit in the dirt and watch. The defiant, purplered pulse of the heavenstone slowly dims, fading back to its flat, smug, thumb-printed black. It is now sitting in a sarcophagus of its own making, the vitrified, cracked, and slumped ruins of your forge, your life's work. The silence from the rest of the clan is louder than the forge's roar ever was. It's a thick, cold, accusing silence. You are the man who just burned the winter. You are the smith who just proved, in the most spectacular and public way possible, that his craft is useless. The shaman Old Bone doesn't even look at you. She's busy with a new, much more frantic-looking ritual, trying to appease the spirits you've so clearly offended. People walk past you. They give you a wide, wide berth. You are tainted. You are the fool who challenged a god's bone and lost. You are, for all practical purposes, an outcast. Your apprentice, the boy who looked at you with such awe, now looks at you with pity, which is infinitely worse. He leaves a small, cold piece of millet cake near your feet, as one might leave an offering for a ghost, and scurries away. You don't touch the food. You don't feel the cold. You are no longer Tarn the Smith, a respected member of the Nubatama. You are now just a man with an obsession. Your world has shrunk from the steppe, the clan, the sky, to this single, black, 6-foot circle of ruined clay. You sit for a day. You sit for a night. The clan begins to pack. The consensus is clear. The shaman's test was a catastrophic failure, and the only answer now is the first one: to flee. To leave this cursed basin, this glowing, angry wound in the west, and most of all, to leave this stone and the fool who tried to fight it. But you're not leaving. You're watching. You're thinking. Your mind keeps replaying the failure. It wasn't that the fire wasn't hot. It was. It was hotter than any fire you had ever made. You saw the clay walls melt. That was real power. The problem wasn't the heat. It was the shape. This is the mainstream historical fact that just dawning on your Bronze Age brain. Your forge, your pit in the ground, is an open bowl. Heat, as you know from every campfire, rises. It wants to escape. You were trying to heat the stone, but 90% of your precious winter-wasting heat was just leaving. It was billowing up into the uncaring sky, laughing at you. You weren't heating the stone. You were just warming the air above the stone. You are furious. Not at the stone, not anymore. You are furious at gravity. You are furious at the air. You are furious at the shape of your own forge. You get up. Your legs are stiff. You walk, not to the camp, but out onto the open steppe. You need to think, and the sight of your failure is blinding you. You find yourself by the small frozen river where you get your best clay. You sit on a rock. You need a different fire. This is the quirky tidbit, the moment of the vision. A cold wind is blowing. You idly watch it snake through a small, natural fissure in the rocks by the riverbank. On the other side of the fissure, a tiny, dry shrub, no bigger than your hand, is caught. A spark, maybe from your ruined forge, has landed on it. It's not burning, it's smoldering. A single, sad wisp of smoke. But then a gust of wind hits the fissure just right. It's funneled, squeezed by the rock. It doesn't just blow on the ember, it blows through it. Whoosh! The ember doesn't just glow, it explodes. For a single brilliant second, it flares white-hot, a tiny perfect star. The shrub is gone, consumed in an instant. You stop breathing. That's it. The bellows. They pump air at the fire. But the wind, in that rock, it became part of the fire. It was focused. And your forge, it was open. The heat escaped. What if the forge wasn't a pit? What if it was a chimney? Historians still argue whether the monumental leap from an open pit forge to a vertical shaft furnace was a slow, 100-year evolution or a rapid revolutionary invention, likely sparked by one smith in one place, who was just incredibly monumentally frustrated. You, Tarn, are that frustrated smith. You are no longer an outcast, you are an architect. You race back not to the camp but to the ruined forge. You grab a burnt stick, you don't care who's watching. You fall to your knees in the ash and you begin to draw. The clan in the middle of packing their sledges stops. They watch the madman. You are not drawing a pit, you are drawing a tower. A tall clay cylinder taller than a man. A shaft. You are drawing a hole at the bottom for the bellows, but not just one. Two. Angled down to create a swirling vortex of air. You are drawing a small hole, a tap hole, at the very base. You don't know why, but it feels right. A way for the stone's blood to flow out if it ever does bleed. You're not just rebuilding your forge. You are inventing the blast furnace 2,000 years early. You are designing a contained, vertical-focused hell. A sky forge built to trap the heat and focus it into a single, white-hot, inescapable point. You finish your drawing in the dirt. You look at it, breathing hard. It is the most beautiful and the most insane thing you have ever seen. You look up. The entire clan is staring at you. Your ruined forge. Your mad drawing in the ash. You look at your apprentice, River Clay. You command, your voice a dead, flat, obsessive rasp. As much as we can carry. And find me the yak wrestlers. I need their lungs. You are an outcast. You are a madman. You have no authority. But as you stand there covered in ash, eyes burning with a new terrifying engineering fire, you are no longer just a smith. You are a prophet of the flame. And they are for 1 second too terrified not to listen. You are Tarn, the madman. You are standing over your ash drawing of a tower, your eyes burning, your voice a rasp. The clan is frozen. To your left, the sledges are half-packed for escape. To your right, the river and the clay you've demanded. You have offered them a third insane option. Not flight, not supplication, but engineering. And in this moment, Old Bone, the shaman, walks forward. She stares at your drawing in the dirt. She looks at the ruined pit forge, a symbol of her own failed narrative. She looks at the black, silent, victorious stone. Then she looks at you. You are covered in soot, your knuckles are white, and your eyes promise nothing but fire. You are at this moment a more convincing prophet of a harsh new power than she is. She must choose. Will she be the shaman who led her people away from the sky spirit, or the one who presided over its capture? She raises her stick. Unpack, she commands. Her voice is a dry leaf. The smith has had a vision. We will build his sky forge. We will give the spirit its own mountain, a mountain of fire. That's it. The debate is over. The shaman has just co-opted your engineering project as a spiritual crusade. You don't care. You'll take it. What follows is the hardest, most desperate work of your lives. You are no longer a clan of herders, you are a construction crew from hell. You lead them, driven by your cold, burning obsession. The clay you roar and you lead the first party to the river. This isn't just mud, this is your special secret mix. This is the mainstream historical fact of ancient high-temperature work. You make them dig the finest, smoothest blue river clay. You make them haul it skin after skin. Then you make them process it, they stomp it, their feet and legs covered in the freezing, sucking mud. You have them mix in bushels of dried stepagrass and in a moment of grim inspiration, the hair shorn from their own yaks. This is your reinforcing agent, your rebar. This is what will, you hope, keep your mud tower from just exploding when it gets hot. You are building the Skyforge. And it is a monster. It's not a neat, tidy cylinder. It's a lurching, thick-walled, leaning thing built by cold, terrified, and deeply skeptical hands. It rises, layer by wet clay and grass layer, a foot at a time. It is 3 feet wide on the inside, just enough room for the big stone. But the walls are 2 feet thick. By the second day, it is taller than a man. It looks less like a forge and more like a giant, muddy termite mound, a monument to your hubris. But the genius and the frustration is the air. You've baked your clay pipes, your tuyères. You and your apprentice sat up all night. nursing a small, separate fire, carefully turning them until they were hard, ceramic tubes. You angled them down into the base just like in your vision. But the bellows, oh, the bellows. 2 bellows, you realize, are not enough. It's not just about heat, it's about pressure. It's about a continuous, unceasing, white-hot breath. More, you grunt. You need more lungs. You end up cannibalizing 2 other tents for their hide. You build 2 more sets of bellows, 4 in total. A ridiculous, wasteful, wonderful amount of air. You set them up 2 on each side of the forge mound, each with its own tuyere. This is the quirky tidbit, the part that nearly breaks you. The yak wrestlers, strong as they are not rhythmic. They pump, they get tired, they stop, they pump at the same time, choking the fire. No, you roar, grabbing their shoulders. Not together. Listen, you become a conductor, a mad, sooty maestro of the flame. You divide them into 2 teams. Team 1, whoosh. Team 2, thump. Team 1, whoosh. Team 2, thump. You make them practice. On cold bellows. For hours, they feel like idiots. You are an idiot, but it's the only way. You are inventing the alternating, continuous draft engine, and your pistons are 4 very confused, very strong men. Historians still argue whether the transition to complex multi-bellows furnaces was a planned, revolutionary invention by a single genius, or a slow, generational accretion of improvements. You, Tarn, are living proof of the frustrated genius theory. You're not doing this because you're smart. You're doing this because you are furious and you have no other choice. Finally, the mud tower is dry. The 4 bellows are in place. The teams are mostly trained. You pack the outside of the tower with thick, insulating clods of earth and sod until it looks like a grass-covered burial mound. A barrow forge. The clan is silent. The air is cold. This is it. You and the hunter who first went to the crater, you go back. This time with rollers and ropes. You don't retrieve the fist-sized piece. You retrieve the mother, the yak-sized, main-mass, impossible stone. It takes half the clan, a series of levers, and a lot of cursing, but you haul it, groaning, back to the camp. There is no ceremony, just work. With a set of crude wooden shears, you and 3 others lift the black, thumb-printed singing stone. You position it over the black open gullet of your skyforge, and you let it go. It drops. A heavy, final thud, vanishing into the darkness of the chimney. You have just fed the beast you built. You have entombed the god bone. You pack the shaft with the absolute last of the winter's good charcoal, layering it like a funeral offering. You turn to the bellows teams. They are pale, their knuckles white. You hold up a single burning torch. Now, you throw the torch into the top loading hole. It vanishes. There is no cheerful flume. The dry charcoal simply inhales the flame. Now, you roar, not at the fire, but at your teams. The yak wrestlers throw their weight into the bellows. Whoosh. Team 1. A blast of air. Thump. Team 2. A second, alternating blast. Whoosh. Thump. Whoosh. Thump. The rhythm begins. It's the rhythm of a giant, angry heart. It's the rhythm you beat into them for hours. And the sound. This is not the cheerful open-air roar of your old pit forge. This is a scream. The air, forced into the angled tuyeres, is creating a swirling vortex of fire. The sound coming from the top of the man-high tower is not a roar. It is a focused, solid, piercing jet of sound. A high-pitched, continuous, deafening shriek. It's the sound of the wind, the very spirit you tried to avoid whistling for, being captured, compressed, and forced to do your bidding. The ground vibrates, not violently, but with a deep, low thrum. The forge itself, your lumpy grass and mud tower, begins to live. First, it steams, the last bits of moisture in the clay baking off. Then, it begins to glow. The mud and sod insulation starts to smoke. A faint, dull red starts at the base where the air is hottest, and it begins to climb. Your entire barrow forge is becoming a single, monolithic, pulsing column of heat. You are standing 20 feet back, and the heat is already crisping your eyebrows. It is a physical, solid wall of hot air. The men on the bellows are soaked in sweat, their faces grim, their muscles cording as they pump in that perfect, awful rhythm. Whoosh, thump, whoosh, thump. This is the mainstream historical fact. You have, through sheer obsessive frustration, just accidentally invented the core principle of the blast furnace. You are trapping and recirculating heat, achieving temperatures your ancestors would have considered mythical. You're not just at 1100 degrees Celsius anymore. You are climbing 1200, 1300. You are approaching 1500 degrees C, the actual scientific melting point of iron. This is the temperature of a volcano's heart. Hours pass, time melts, the sun moves, but your world is this screaming, glowing, vibrating tower. The bellows teams are swapped out. Men pump until their arms give out and 2 more are there to take their place. They are all grim-faced, terrified, and totally, utterly committed. You are all in this shared, insane fever dream together. And you, Tarn, just watch. You stand unmoving, feeding more charcoal into the top, a high priest feeding an angry, screaming god. But it's not working. You look, shading your eyes, at the small, crude tap hole you built near the base. You'd hoped, you'd dreamed, you'd see a trickle, a single glowing drip of liquid metal, the blood of the sky beast you'd promised. You see nothing, just a blinding white-yellow light inside the hole. No liquid, no blood. It's still not melting. The charcoal is almost gone. The men are at their breaking point. The forge itself is starting to slump, the vitrified clay dripping down its own sides. This is it, the peak, the absolute maximum effort of your entire people. And it has failed. You have built a mountain of fire, and the stone is still just sitting in it. The despair is a cold, black thing, a perfect counterpoint to the white-hot forge. Stop, you rasp. The whoosh, thump, rhythm falters, then dies. The jet scream of the forge fades to a low, hellish roar. The silence is deafening. You walk to the tower. The heat beats you back. You wrap your face in wet hide. Break it, you command the yak wrestlers, pointing to the base. Break the wall. They look at you, horrified. That's a Aya columnar of contained sun. Break it. They grab the heaviest mauls. They swing. Thwack. The maul sinks into the glowing, half-melted clay wall. They tear it open, like animals ripping into a carcass. A wave of pure white light and heat rolls out, a physical blow that sends the men staggering back, shielding their eyes. The forge guts are exposed, and there, at the bottom, it sits. It is not liquid. It is not black. It is a single, cohesive, blindingly white-hot, sunbright mass. It is a piece of the noonday sun trapped in the mud. It hasn't melted, but it is soft. It is a glowing, living, malleable lump. This is the quirky tidbit. As it's revealed, a small, curious camp dog, drawn by the furious energy, trots too close. It yelps, not from a burn, but because its fur, from 10 feet away, curls and smokes from the radiant heat. It flees, whimpering. The heat is a weapon in itself. And you, Tarn, see it. You see the failure. And you see the real success. You don't melt the skystone, you make it soft. You grab your heaviest iron-bound maul. You stalk toward the glowing mass. Get the granite block. You roar at your apprentice. The anvil. Historians still argue whether the complex, layered process of forge welding, hammering, and folding hot, impure iron to drive out slag was a deliberate, planned-out invention or a desperate, ugly necessity. You're about to prove it's the latter. You stand over the glowing, pulsing star heart. You raise your maul. You are no longer trying to break it, you are trying to bind it. You swing, thwump. It's not a crack, it's a sound like hitting a mountain made of leather. A heavy, solid, absorbent sound. A fountain of brilliant yellow-white sparks explodes, stinging your face. Where the hammer hit, there is a dent. A beautiful, perfect, insulting dent. It moved. A wild, terrifying, barking laugh escapes your throat. The clan thinks you are mad, you've won, out, you scream, get it out. Using poles and levers, the team, now energized by your madness, heaves the glowing 300-pound lump of star metal from the ruined forge. It rolls onto the cold, hard granite anvil stone. Tss. The granite hisses, but it holds. You bark at your apprentice, handing him the second-best maul. Hit where I hit. After me. You raise your maul. You are Tarn. You are the smith. This is your church. Thwump. Sparks. Thwump. The apprentice, half a beat later. Thwump. Thwump. You are not breaking it. You are beating it. You are flattening it. You are pounding it, and in your rage, you fold the flattened piece back on itself. You are, for the first time in human history, forging a star. The first star billet is born in fire, failure, and furious rhythmic violence. Awaiting, continue. The rhythm of the world has shrunk to this. Thwump, thwump. You, Tarn, swing your heavy maul, and the white-hot star billet gives a cough of sparks. Thwump. Your apprentice, his face a mask of soot and terror, swings his. Thwump, 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 thwump. It's a terrible, beautiful, rhythmic violence. You are beating the star, and the star is yielding. You are hammering out the impurities, which in this case are probably just bits of your ruined forge, and you are flattening the mass into something new. But the star is fighting back. This is not a patient, obedient metal like bronze, which holds its heat. This is a dense alien thing. You have maybe 30 seconds. You watch the color. It goes from that blinding, soft white to a workable yellow. Thwump. Thwump. Then faster than you can believe, it shifts to that angry, defiant purplard, the color of failure. Stop. You roar. Your maul bounces off. The metal is hard again. It's no longer soft. It is, in fact, harder than any rock you have ever struck. The 30-second window of opportunity has slammed shut. You are left with a lumpy, half-flattened, vaguely rectangular thing that looks like a piece of cosmic garbage, and it's already cooling. Again you rasp, your throat raw from smoke. Master, your apprentice whimpers. His arms look like they're about to fall off. Again, you don't have the fuel to rebuild the tower. But the tower's ruins, they are still a crucible. You and the apprentice use poles to shove the stubborn, heavy billet back into the glowing, slumped-over wreck of the Skyforge. You throw in the last dregs of the charcoal. You put the other two yak wrestlers on the bellows. Whoosh, thump. The roar returns. You wait. You wait an hour, 2 hours, watching the lumpy billet until it glows white-hot again, until it's soft. Now, you lever it out. It slams onto the granite anvil. Thwump, 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 thwump. You hammer. It cools. You reheat. This is your life now. This is the new religion. This cycle, this mainstream historical fact known as thermomechanical processing, is what you have just invented. You are not just shaping the metal, you are changing it. Every hammer blow, every fold, every reheating is aligning the internal structure of the metal, a structure you can't see but can feel in the shock in your arms. You are making it stronger, more homogeneous. You are forging, in the most literal sense, a new material. Days blur. The clan, no longer packing, now exists to serve this new fiery ritual. They bring you water. They bring you food you don't eat. They man the bellows. And they watch. The lumpy billet is gone. After 100 heatings, 1,000 folds, 10,000 thwumps, you have a blade. It's not a leaf-shaped bronze spear. It's long, almost as long as your arm. It's thick at the spine, but the edge you have hammered to an almost unbelievable thinness. It has a strange forward-curving shape, because that's just how the metal wanted to be beaten. It's ugly. It's covered in black and gray fire scale. But it is, unmistakably, a sword. But it is not finished. It is strong, yes. But it is still soft. It's just a very, very hot, very, very flat piece of metal. To be a blade, it must be hardened. It needs its soul. You know this part. This is the quench. the final terrible baptism of fire and water that locks the metal's spirit in place. You signal your apprentice, who is basically just a walking soot statue at this point. The water. He nods and runs to get the largest water skin. The cold river water. The logical, obvious, practical choice. You, meanwhile, heave the blade blank back into the forge heart for the last time. You are bringing it up to temperature. A perfect, bright cherry red. You know this color. This is the color of transformation. As you wait for the blade to heat, historians still argue whether the choice of quenching fluids in the ancient world was a matter of primitive, superstitious ritual or surprisingly advanced, albeit empirical science. Was quenching a blade in the urine of a red-headed boy a real historical recipe? Just theater? Or did the salts and ammonia in the liquid actually create a better, more controlled nitrogen quench? Was it magic or was it just weird chemistry? You, Tarn, are about to find out. The blade is at a perfect, even, glowing red. The apprentice is standing by with the trough of river water. It is time. You take your tongs, clamping them on the non-pointy end of the blade. You lift it. It comes free from the forge, a long, glowing crimson thing that pulses in the gray daylight. It sings not a ping anymore, but a low, hot, metallic hum. You turn, ready to plunge it into the water. Stop. The voice is Old Bone, the shaman. She is standing right there, her hand raised. You almost impale her. It would be an awkward end to her spiritual career. You are a fool, Tarnthe Smith, she says, not unkindly. A brilliant, noisy, soot-covered fool. It must be cooled, you growl, the blade's heat scorching your own face. Yes, she agrees, but not in that. She kicks the water trough. The water splashes, dull and gray. That is earth water, she spits. It is dirt. It is mundane. You cannot baptize a sky spirit in mud. She has a point. A very annoying, theatrical point. This, she says, gesturing to your glowing blade, is the bone of a star. It must be quenched in the spirit of the steppe, the spirit of our people, the sacred white water. Oh no, you know what she means. This is the quirky tidbit. She points to two men who are hauling a large, ceremonial wooden trough from the shaman's own tent. It is filled with the clan's most sacred, potent, and, frankly, smelliest substance, fermented mare's milk, kumis. It is sour, it is slightly alcoholic, and it is the absolute spiritual and nutritional center of Nubatama life. It is also, you realize with dawning horror, flammable. It must be this, she declares. The sky metal must be born in the soul of the herd. You look at the glowing hot blade. You look at the trough of cloudy, off-white, slightly bubbly liquid. This is the stupidest, most dangerous, and most perfect idea you have ever heard. The blade is cooling. The red is fading. Now or never, you mutter. You lift the blade high. The clan is watching, breathless. You plunge the star blade, glowing cherry red, into the trough of sacred fermented mare's milk. It does not hiss. It screams. A sound like 1,000 angry spirits. A cloud of thick, white, acrid steam explodes, smelling of burnt sugar, scorched hair, and sour, sour dairy. The alcohol on the surface flashes, thwomp, in a brief blue flame that kisses your eyebrows. Again. It is violent. It is terrifying. It is ritual. You hold it under. You feel the blade shudder in your tongs, a final, violent spasm. Then silence. You pull it out. It's no longer glowing. It is black. A deep, oily, quenched black. It is covered in a layer of burnt, carbonized milk fats. And it is humming. The heavenstone is dead. The star blade is born. You stand there, your arms shaking not from the weight of the blade, but from the violence of that quench. The hissing, screaming, and the whoomp of the flashing milk alcohol have left a ringing in your ears. The entire clan is silent, their faces pale in the gray light, all staring at the thing in your tongs. It's black, it's dripping, it smells... well, it smells awful. It's a truly stomach-turning combination of burnt, carbonized dairy, that sharp sulfurandazone smell of the metal itself, and scorched hair, mostly yours. It is the least divine-smelling object in the history of the world. But it is humming. Remember the high, clear ping the stone had? It's gone. It's been replaced by a low, faint, resonant thrum. You can feel it vibrating up the tongs and into your arm. It's no longer the sound of a thing, it's the sound of power. You carefully, reverently, lay the blade on the cold, hard, granite anvil. It is finished. It is ugly. It's covered in a thick, black, oily, burnt milk scum. It looks like a piece of burnt firewood you just fished out of a latrine. This is not the shining celestial weapon you hadn't pictured anything, but you'd hoped for better than this. You are a craftsman. This will not stand. You have to see what you've made. File, you grunt at your apprentice. He hands you your best bronze file. You scrape it against the blade's new black surface, and the file skates. It's a sound you've never heard. A high, frictionless zeep. The bronze file, a tool you use to shape metal, just slid off the blade as if it were ice. You look at the file. Its teeth are blunted. You look at the blade. You haven't even scratched the scum off. The quench, that violent, milky, screaming bath. It worked. It worked too well. You have created a material that is harder than your own tools. This is a problem. But you, Tarn, are a problem solver. If you can't file it, you will polish it. Sand, you order. The fine river sand. And leather. You spend the next hour in a state of grinding, obsessive focus. You take a thick, stiff piece of yak hide, a handful of fine, abrasive sand, and you scrub. You are not filing. You are not cutting. You are polishing. It is slow, agonizing, arm-numbing work. The black, burnt milk crud comes off, revealing the dark gray fire scale beneath. You scrub harder. The fire scale yields bit by bit, and you start to see the metal. But it's not right. You're expecting a smooth, gray, uniform surface, like your iron wedge or a bronze pot. You see lines, you stop. You wipe the gritty gray slurry off the blade. You think it's a trick of the light, a reflection. It's not. There on the surface of the metal is a pattern. It's a network of fine, silvery white lines, crisscrossing each other at strange, geometric angles. It looks like the cracks in drying mud, or a spider's web drawn by a lunatic, or the faint, interconnected lines of the constellations. It's a web of long, needle-like crystals, interlocking in a way that no earthly rock, no bronze, no iron has ever shown. This is the mainstream scientific fact. You are the first human to ever polish and etch a Wittgenstein pattern. This is the unmistakable, unfakeable fingerprint of a nickel-iron meteorite. It is a crystalline structure formed over millions of years of impossibly slow cooling, a rate of about 1 degree per 1,000 years, deep in the vacuum of space. It is a structure you could never replicate, not in 1,000 lifetimes, not with 1,000 skyforges. Historians still argue whether the complex swirling patterns on later superweapons like Damascus steel were purely functional, the visible boundaries of different hardness steels creating a micro-serration, or if their primary purpose was aesthetic and spiritual, a visible sign of the smith's near-divine mastery. You, Tarn, don't have this debate. You know exactly what this is. This is the spirit of the stone. This is its name. And here is the quirky, beautiful tidbit. Why is it so clear? A simple polish wouldn't be enough. It's the kumis, the fermented mare's milk. It's lactic acid. You didn't just quench the blade in acid. You are now polishing it with a fine, abrasive slurry that is also mildly acidic from the quench residue. You have, in the most Nubatama way possible, accidentally invented acid etching. The acid is eating away at the softer nickel iron, kamacite, faster than the harder, taenite, revealing the hidden billion-year-old crystal structure in stark, beautiful relief. You scrub the whole blade, your heart pounding, your arms forgotten. The entire length of the blade is covered in it. A map. A language. Old Bone, the shaman, has been watching. She steps forward, her old eyes tracing the lines. She isn't surprised. She just nods, a deep, satisfied motion. "I told you," she whispers, her voice filled with a terrible, vindicated awe. The sky has a voice, and this is a map of the heavens. It is the star spirit's true name. You are no longer a smith. You are an engraver, and you have just revealed the signature of a god. You are Tarn. You are also simultaneously the awestruck artist and the deeply practical engineer. And right now the engineer is getting very, very annoyed. The shaman, Old Bone, is practically crooning over the celestial map on the blade. She is tracing the Widmanstätten lines with her bony finger, muttering about constellations, spirits, and the true name of the sky goat or something. The clan is in a state of religious, terrified awe. They are looking at the pattern. You are looking at the tool. And it is a failure. It's beautiful, yes. The pattern is a miracle. The edge, from the hammerwork alone, is sharp. But it's not a weapon. It's a 10-pound, 3-foot-long bar of sharpened spacefaring metal with the balance of a capsized canoe. You know this because while the shaman was busy naming the constellations, you wrapped your calloused hand in a thick piece of hide, and you tried to lift it by the unsharpened end, the part that's meant to be a handle. It's a disaster. The moment you pick it up, the forward-curving, impossibly dense blade tries to dive to the ground. It has all the agile, ergonomic grace of a lead pipe with a brick strapped to the end. The sheer, dense weight of the iron nickel, combined with that forward curve, makes it want to tear your wrist from your arm. It is, in short, the most beautiful, most expensive, most useless object you have ever created. Your obsession shifts. The fire is done. The magic is done. The engineering has just begun. You need to fix the balance. Historians still argue whether ancient smiths had an intellectual, scientific understanding of concepts like center of mass and pivot points, or if their knowledge was purely tactile, a master's feel passed down through apprenticeships. Utarn are all about the feel, and this feels like garbage. You know how a good axe feels. The weight is forward, so it wants to bite the wood. You know how a good hammer feels. The balance is perfect, so you can swing it all day. This feels like neither. You have two choices. You can remove weight from the blade. Impossible, it's a sacred map. Or, you can add weight behind your hand to counteract the blade. It's insane. The thing is already too heavy, and your solution is to make it heavier? Yes, that is exactly your solution. You look at the tang, the stubby, unsharpened end of the blade. It's not enough. You need to reforge the handle. Again you rasp, your voice like a death rattle. The bellows team, who had been sitting down, look at you with genuine despair. Your apprentice just sighs and starts stoking the ruins of the forge. You are not a popular man, but you are a man with a vision. You don't need the screaming white-hot hell of the Skyforge. Not anymore. You build a smaller, more controlled forge, a finishing forge. You heat only the tang. You are not just going to wrap it in wood. You are going to forge a counterweight into the handle itself. You take the remaining stub of that first fist-sized meteor fragment, the one you failed to melt, the one that broke your tools, and you heat it too. You are going to forge weld it to the end of the tang. You are going to build a solid, heavy celestial pommel. It's a delicate, furious process. You hammer and fold, not the blade, but the handle. You are marrying the two pieces of star metal, binding them with heat and violence. You are creating a single, continuous piece. Blade, handle, and pommel, all one glorious, patterned, singing piece of star. Then the edge. This is the quirky tidbit, the new agonizing problem. The blade is sharp, but it's not Nubatama sharp. It's not shave a hair sharp. You need to sharpen it. You already know your files are useless. They skate. Your best whetstones? The blade eats them. It's harder than the stone. You are, in a very real sense, sanding down your whetstone, leaving the blade's edge untouched. You have created a weapon you cannot sharpen. This is the final insulting failure. Unless you look at the ground, at the fine, gritty rivers, and you used to polish the pattern. You are going to have to sharpen this blade with sand. This is the mainstream historical fact. You are inventing lapping. You take your flattest, hardest granite block, you smear it with animal grease, you sprinkle on the finest, sharpest river sand, and you drag the blade edge first across this slurry, over and over and over. It's not sharpening, it's polishing an edge. It is the slowest, most infuriating, most arm-numbingly precise work of your life. It takes you an entire day to get 1 foot of the blade to the sharpness you want. The clan watches, baffled, as you spend 3 days just rubbing your sword in the dirt. But the edge you're creating, it's not a wedge. It's a convex or appleseed edge. It's not just sharp, it's durable. It's a gradual, curved, polished and sharpening that has the full, dense mass of the star metal behind the cutting edge. Finally, you are done. The tang is forged. The pommel is a solid, heavy lump of star metal. The edge is a polished, gleaming, convex line of terrible sharpness. You wrap the tang in thick, temporary hide. You stand in the center of the camp, you lift it, and you smile. It is light. It's not, of course, it's a lie. The sword weighs at least 10 pounds, an absurd weight for a one-handed weapon. But you have balanced it perfectly. The heavy, custom-forged pommel yanks the center of balance out of the blade and right into your hand, just above your fist. It does not feel like a 10-pound blade. It feels alive. It feels weightless. It moves like a bronze dagger, like a willow switch. When you swing it, it just goes. The forward curve, once a liability, is now its greatest asset. It wants to cut, pulled forward by physics but tethered to your hand by your perfect obsessive counterbalancing. You have tamed the star metal. You have forged the Nubatama blade. The blade is a miracle. It is a polished, map-covered, impossibly balanced piece of the night sky. It is the lightest 10-pound object on Earth. You are Tarn, the smith, and for a full, glorious 30 seconds you are a god. Then you look down at the grip. The temporary ugly wrap of greasy hide. Your masterpiece, your star symphony, is wearing a dirty frayed sock for a handle. Your divine ego collapses. The craftsman is back and he is mortified. This is an insult. This cannot be. You know how to make a hilt. You are a smith. You find the hardest, oldest piece of hickory or ash, wood with a straight, tight grain that won't split. You carve it to fit the hand. You sand it with, well, sand. You wrap it in fresh, tough yak hide, stitched tight. It's a good, solid Nubatama grip. You go to your small, salvaged pile of good wood. You pick up a piece. No. The voice is old bone. The shaman. She has been watching you this entire time. Like a hawk watches a mouse it finds spiritually interesting. I said, "No," she repeats, and she kicks your perfect piece of hickory, sending it rolling into the ash. "It needs a handle," you growl. Your patience, which has been stretched thin for weeks, finally snaps. "It is not a tool," she snaps back. "You don't put a yak handle on the bone of a star. You don't put a tree spirit in charge of a sky god. This is the mainstream historical fact of your world. Sympathetic magic. The idea that materials have a spirit, an essence. A piece of hickory has the essence of hickory, which is good for hitting other, less impressive trees. It is mundane. It is earthly. And this blade, she is arguing, is celestial. To put a normal handle on it would be a spiritual demotion. It would pollute it. This," she says, tapping the patterned blade with her bony finger, "is eternal. It came from the night sky. It cheated death. The things that touch it must also have cheated. They must be its equal in spirit." Historians still argue whether the complex gemstone and ivory hilts of ancient ceremonial weapons were purely for status, a Bronze Age flex showing you could afford such materials, or if they were seen as a spiritual battery pack, a way of focusing different energies. Was a hilt made of jet, fossilized wood, just a cool black handle, or was it meant to imbue the wielder with the compressed time spirit of the ancient forest? You, Tarn, are about to find out. The shaman is now giving you a shopping list, and it's the weirdest, most impractical list in human history. "We need stonewood," she declares, "and the lightning sinew." You just stare. Stonewood. Lightning sinew. You're a smith, not a mystic geologist. She knows. She's been planning this. She leads you, not to the forest, but to a place your clan avoids. A dry, ancient, sun-baked gully. A day's walk from the camp. A place where the earth is angried and the ground is littered with rocks that look wrong. She points. There. This is the quirky tidbit. You are standing in an ancient, exposed bed of petrified wood, fossilized wood. To you, it's not fossilized, it's stone wood. It is wood that refused to rot. It is wood that chose to become stone. It is wood that, like the star metal, has transcended its own nature and become eternal. It has cheated death. It is the perfect, sympathetic material. It is also, you discover, rock. You pick up a piece. It is heavy, glassy, and hard. You, the practical smith, are now faced with a new, agonizing problem. You can't carve this. It's stone. Your bronze knives skate off it. Your iron files make a sad, screeching sound and do nothing. You look at the shaman. She is just smiling, a smug, your problem not mine smile. You realize with a dawning, soul-crushing horror how you will have to do this. Grinding. You spend the next week in a new, special grinding hell. You go back to your greasins and slurry, the one you used to sharpen the blade. You have to grind 2 perfectly flat, hand-shaped scales of this stonewood, just to fit on either side of the star metal tang. It is the slowest, most mind-numbing, most boring job of your life. You are not a smith. You are a snail, slowly rubbing a rock with mud. But as you work, you see the stonewood. It's beautiful. It's a deep, polished black with streaks of red like dried blood. It is cold. It is heavy. You finish. You have 2 perfect, glassy, smooth stonewood scales. Now, the lightning sinew. You cannot bind the sky fire, the shaman explains as if to a child with the guts of a goat. You must bind it with itself. She sends her own apprentices. They go to the high ridge, the place where the summer storms always hit. They come back a day later. They have found a stag, struck by lightning 2 moons ago. It is ripe. But they have carefully, ritually, harvested its long, tough back sinews. Sinew touched by the sky fire. Sympathetic magic. You are given this sacred, slightly smelly sinew. You begin the final assembly. It is a ritual in itself. You take the blade, its perfect balance already known to you. You take the 2 cold, heavy, polished stonewood scales. You fit them to the tang. They are heavy, adding even more counterweight. You take the lightning sinew. You don't just wrap it. You soak it in a hot sacred glue, pine pitch and boiled yakuf. You wrap the hilt. You bind the stonewood to the star metal, your fingers sticky. The smell of hot pine and old stagates filling the air. You wrap it in a tight, crisscross pattern, your smith shands ensuring the tension is perfect. You set it aside. The sinew dries. And as it dries, it shrinks. It pulls the stonewood scales against the star metal tang with a force you could never achieve by hand. It locks the hilt together. It is not 3 things: wood, sinew, metal. It is one, fused. The shaman nods. It is done. You reach for it. You, the one who forged it. You, who ground it. You, who assembled it. You pick it up. And, oh, the grip is not comfortable. The stonewood is cold and unyielding. The sinew wrap is abrasive, digging into your calluses. But I sound the balance. The extra calculated weight of the stonewood and the pommel. It's impossible. The 10-pound blade now feels like it weighs nothing. The center of gravity is not in your hand. It feels like it's in your wrist. The blade is no longer an object you hold, it is a part of your arm. It is not a hilt. It is a hilt of spirits. And it is alive. You are holding it. It is done. The hilt is cold, abrasive, and feels like it's fused to your bones. The balance is a lie, a miracle of physics that makes 10 pounds feel like nothing. The star metal blade, with its map of the heavens, is dark and hungry in the pale steppe daylight. The forge is dead, a cold, slumped ruin. The camp is silent. The shaman, Old Bone, and the rest of your clan are just watching you. They have watched you burn their fuel, shatter their tools, and break your body for a moon. You have been a madman, a prophet, a failure, and an architect. Now, you are just a smith holding his finished work, and the work must be tested. Not the edge. You already know the edge is a miracle. You spent 3 days grinding it with sand and grease. You know it's sharp. You need to test the blade. You need to know if all this, the balance, the hilt, the lightning sinew, will hold. You need to know if it will break. You nod, once, to the clan. A silent stand back. You walk away from the tents, out onto the open, frozen ground, away from anything you might accidentally destroy. You need room. You plant your feet. You are a smith. Your body is all shoulders, back, and arms. You know how to swing. You take your stance. This is the mainstream historical fact. A good blade sings. Even your best bronze swords, when swung hard, produce a faint cutting shing as they slice the air. It's the sound of a true edge and good balance. You are listening for that shing. You swing. A slow, controlled, testing arc. You hear nothing. Just the whisper of wind. The blade is so heavy, yet so balanced, that it just moves. It doesn't disturb the air. It seems to erase it. This is disappointing. You frown. You grip the abrasive, sinew-wrapped hilt tighter. Maybe you were too gentle. You swing again. This time, with your shoulders. A true Nubatama swing, meant to cleave a branch or something else. It is fast. The perfect balance makes it move with a speed you are not prepared for. And you don't hear a shing. You feel it. It's a bzz. It is not a sound in the air. It's a vibration in your hand. It's a deep, low-frequency resonant hum that leaps from the cold stonewood hilt, past your calluses, and straight into your bones. It travels up your arm, into your shoulder, and settles deep in your chest cavity and in your teeth. It is the most unsettling, invasive, and alive feeling you have ever experienced. The blade itself is vibrating. The entire 3-foot, 10-pound piece of star metal is resonating like a plucked string on a giant, invisible harp. This is the quirky, scientific tidbit. That Widmanstätten pattern? It's not just a map. It's a structure. It's a network of massive, interlocking alien crystals billions of years old. You haven't just forged a blade, you have forged a tuning fork. A massive, perfectly balanced, weaponized tuning fork. When you swing it, the force, the stress, the air displacement, all combine to set that unique, crystalline structure vibrating at its resonant fundamental frequency. And that frequency is low. It is a bass note from the bottom of the universe. You stop, your heart hammering. You are breathing hard, and it's not from the effort. You look at the blade, it looks the same. Dark, patterned, innocent. You look at the clan. They are 100 yards away watching. They look confused. They heard nothing. They just saw you swing a sword, and then freeze like you'd been stung. You swing it again. Harder. A full, violent, 180-degree arc. Bzzm. This time, it's audible. It's not just in your teeth. It's in the air. A sound like a million giant, angry hornets. A sound like the Skyforge's roar, but musical. It's a deep, threatening, droning hum that seems to hang in the air for a second after the blade has stopped. And this time the clan hears it. They don't just hear it, they react. A collective gasp. 2 people clap their hands over their ears. And the camp dogs, they go insane. They don't bark, they scream. They fall to the ground, whimpering, howling, and scratching at their own ears, trying to get the sound out. Historians and folklorists still argue whether the singing swords of legend, weapons like Tyrfing or Skofnung from Norse myth, which were said to cry out in battle, were a real acoustic phenomenon of a lost metallurgical process, or if it was all just a powerful poetic metaphor for a swift humming blade. You are holding the answer. It is not a metaphor. It is physics. And it is terrifying. Old Bone the shaman is walking toward you. She, unlike the others, is not wincing. She is listening. She cocks her head, her face a mask of awe. It has its voice back, she whispers, her eyes on the blade, not on you. When we broke the stone, it could only ping. You have taught it to sing its anger. You have given the star spirit its battle cry. You, Tarn, just nod. You are a smith. You are a practical man, but you are standing here, your arm numb, your teeth aching, holding a blade that hums with a voice that makes animals scream. This is not a tool. This is not a weapon. This is a threat. The blade is finished. The hilt is set. The song is loud. There is only one thing left to do. You have to know what this singing, celestial, perfectly balanced, impossible to sharpen blade can actually cut. The blade is humming. Your arm is thrumming. The dogs are crying. And the whole of your clan is staring at you, their faces a mixture of terror and awe that you're starting to find. Well, you're starting to get used to it. You are Tarn. You are the smith. You have created a balanced, impossible singing celestial thing. And now, as you said, you have to test what it can cut. What is the ultimate test? A log? A tree? You look at the sparse, wind-blasted trees your people use for tent poles. That's not a test. That's an insult. You could cleave one of those with your old good bronze axe. No. A side of meat? A yak hide? That's what a knife does. This is not a knife. No. There is only one worthy opponent. There is only one test that matters. You look at the ruins of your camp. Your gaze falls on the wreckage of your first failure, the memory that started this whole insane, fuel-burning, sleepless moon, the memory of the metal that failed you. Apprentice, you rasp. Your voice is raw. The boy, who is now, you realize, a young man aged a decade in a single moon, flinches and runs to your side. Bring me the south metal, you command. He blinks. Master. The wedge? The one that broke? No, you say, your voice flat. You point with the humming, star-patterned blade. You point to your private stash, your wealth. The reason you are the clan's smith. Bring me the bars. The apprentice stops breathing. The clan lets out a collective, horrified gasp. This is the mainstream historical fact of your world. Your iron bars are not iron bars. They are the clan's treasury. They are 4 black, lumpy, crude, unworked bars of bloomerite iron, traded from the far southlands, and they cost more hides, furs, and fermented milk than you can count. They are your savings account. They are the raw material for the clan's next generation of tools, and you just ask to cut them. Master. No, the apprentice whispers, horrified. That is metal. Yes, you say. It is. Go. Old Bone, the shaman, steps forward. Tarn, the test is done. The spirit sings. It is enough. You turn to her. You, the soot-covered, exhausted smith, look the spiritual leader of your people dead in the eye. It is not enough, you say, and there is a coldness in your voice that surprises even you. You said it was a test. I failed to break the stone. I failed to melt the stone. I will not fail to test the blade. You are in this moment more terrifying than she is. You have the humming 10-pound starborn proof in your hand. She nods once and steps back. The test will proceed. Historians still argue whether these ancient superweapons, like the Nubatama blade, were ever intended for war. Were they practical battlefield tools, or were they something else? Were they kingbreakers, ceremonial oath blades designed not to clash against 100 spears, but to be used once? To perform one single, impossible, divinely mandated act, like shattering a rival's ancestral shield, or cutting their lesser mortal sword in half, to prove, without question, who the gods really favored. The apprentice, his hands shaking so badly he can barely function, is now trying to set up the test. This is the quirky tidbit. He's trying to stack the lumpy, uneven, priceless iron bars for your execution. He lays one on the frozen dirt. He tries to put a second on top. It rolls off. Clunk. He tries again. It rolls. He whimpers. Just lay them. Side by side, you sigh, your head aching. He does. He places all 4 3-foot-long, arm-thick bars of precious, impossible-to-get iron on the ground, lined up like sacrificial offerings. You look down at them. No, that's not a test. That's chopping. You need to cleave. Stack them, you order, your voice dead. On the anvil. The apprentice, now openly crying from the stress, gets the yak wrestlers. They move the flat granite anvil stone. They, with agonizing care, manage to build a small, unstable pile of the clan's entire ironage net worth. 3 bars, stacked in a tiny, wobbly pyramid. It is the most expensive, ridiculous target in human history. You stand before it, you plant your feet, you lift the blade. The bees-zum hum starts, vibrating up your arm, into your chest, a deep, angry, eager song. You are braced for failure. You are braced for the blade to shatter in your hands. You are braced for the shock to break your arms. You are braced for a clang that deafens you, for the blade to be ruined, for the shaman to say, "I told you so." You swing. You put your back, your shoulders, and the full crushing weight of your failure and obsession into this one single cut. There is no clang. There is no impact. There is no shock. The blade sings its deep, resonant, terrifying bzzz, and it passes through the iron bars. It doesn't hit them. It erases them. The sound is a high, clean, obscene shylach. You feel nothing. The resistance is zero. It is exactly the same as swinging the blade through the air. You are still in your follow-through, your body tensed for an impact that never came, and you almost fall over. You freeze. You look at the anvil. The small 3-bar pyramid is gone. In its place are 6 pieces of iron, all cut cleanly in half, which then, a second later, topple over with a sad, anticlimactic clunk, clunk, clunk onto the dirt. The cut surfaces, they are gleaming. You can see your own stunned, sooty reflection in them. You missed? No. You look at the blade. The entire clan is silent. The shaman's mouth is wide open. You look at the blade in your hand, the celestial, star-patterned humming blade. The edge. You know the edge must be ruined, shattered, a saw-toothed mess. You lift it. You run your thumb, ever so gently, along the edge that just passed through 3 solid bars of iron. It is untouched. It is not nicked. It is not rolled. It is not chipped. It is exactly as it was. It is a perfect, convex, sand-polished line of impossible sharpness. The blade, the star metal, did not even notice the iron. It was, to the blade, no different than the air it was sitting in. You stand there, your arm humming, staring at the bisected pieces of your clan's treasury. You look at your masterpiece. You have not made a weapon. You have made an answer. And the question was, what is impossible? You are Tarn. And you are standing in a silence so profound it's louder than your forge ever was. The only sound is the clunk-clunk of the 6 pieces of your clan's treasury settling in the dirt, and the faint, high-pitched whine of the camp dogs, who are still hiding under a sledge 100 yards away. You are staring at the blade. The blade is staring at the sky. The clan is staring at you. And in this perfect, terrible, world-breaking silence, you, the smith, do the only sane thing. You laugh. It's not a good laugh. It's a dry, barking, terrified sound. It is the laugh of a man who has just told the universe his most dangerous joke, and, to his horror, the universe has answered. You have just rendered your entire civilization's concept of hard and valuable, utterly, comically obsolete. You just cut your savings account in half with a piece of the night sky and you didn't even feel it. The laugh breaks the spell. The apprentice, the poor, traumatized young man, does not cheer. He faints, just topples over, face first, into the dirt. A perfectly reasonable response. The yak wrestlers, the strongest men in the clan, just sit down, abruptly, like their legs have been uninvented. And the clan, they don't rush forward, they don't cheer, they back away, and then, one by one, they kneel. They are not kneeling to you. You are Tarn, the soot-covered, half-mad, sleepless smith. They are kneeling to the thing in your hand. They are kneeling to the act. Old Bone, the shaman, is the only one left standing. She walks forward. She is not looking at you. She is looking at the blade, and her face is a mask of pure, unadulterated religious terror. "It is not a blade," she whispers, and her voice is shaking for the first time. "It is a judgment. It is the fang of the sky beast." She reaches out a trembling, bony finger. She does not touch the metal. She touches you. She puts her hand on your soot-covered, sinew-wrapped wrist. "You are no longer Tarn," she declares, her voice rising, finding its old, authoritative ring. "You are the keeper. You are the hand. The blade is the will, and this is it. This is the mainstream historical fact. This is how a legend is born. Not in a poem, not in a song, but in a single, inexplicable public event. The story of this day will be told. By the time your apprentice's grandchildren are old, the story won't be, the keeper cut 3 iron bars. It will be the first keeper, the great Tarn, spoke to the sky, and with the fang he cleaved a mountain, and the people listening will believe it because the ancestor of that very blade is still in its shrine, humming. The blade needs a name, a true name, to match its pattern. The shaman looks at the 6 pieces of ruined, gleaming iron on the ground. "It does not cut," she says, her voice full of a new, horrifying understanding. "It consumes. It ate the spirit of the South metal. I heard it. The song, it is the sound of its hunger." She raises her arms. "We will call it Star Eater." The name settles over the clan. It feels right. It feels heavy. And with the name come the myths. This is the quirky tidbit, the immediate, cancerous, glorious growth of the legend. The hunter who went with you to the crater? He's the first to speak. "The hum," he says, his voice shaky. It makes the dogs scream. They can hear it. It's hunting spirits." "Yes, that's good." The blade's song is a weapon against the unseen. Your apprentice, who has just woken up with a mouthful of dirt, adds his part. When the master quenched it in the white water, it screamed. Yes, the blade screamed as it was born, a celestial, angry, infant god. You, the keeper, just stand there, listening to the mythology of your own masterpiece being written, live, right in front of you. Historians and folklorists still argue whether the Nubatama people literally believed these myths, that the blade ate spirits, or if this was all a sophisticated, powerful metaphor, a way for the new techno-religious elite, you and Old Bone, to consolidate power and protect this new paradigm-shifting technology. Were you a high priest or just a union boss with a really good contract? Looking at the genuine, pants-sweating terror in the shaman's eyes, you're pretty sure everyone believes it, including you. Old Bone has the final, terrifying piece of the puzzle. She points the blade, which you are still holding, you note, not at a thing, but at the wind. "If," she says, her voice a low, calculating hiss, "it can eat the spirit of metal, a thing with a strong, stubborn, earthly soul, as if it were air." She turns and her eyes are gleaming. Then what can it do? To a wind spirit? To a curse? To the gray shadows that steal the breath of children? Oh no. You have not built a weapon. You have not built a tool. You have, according to the shaman, built a scalpel for ghosts. You have forged an exorcism stick. She is already envisioning its true purpose. Not war, not cutting people. That's for vulgar Southland barbarians with their iron. No, the Star Eater is a ritual object. It will be brought out to cut a curse, to threaten a drought, to stand, humming, by the shaman's side as she negotiates with a demon. You have accidentally forged the Nubatama equivalent of a nuclear bomb, and the shaman is planning to use it for spiritual deterrence. You look down at the blade, the Star Eater. It is heavy. It is humming. It feels awake in your hand. You have never been more proud and you have never been more terrified in your entire life. You take a deep breath. You are the keeper. You walk past the kneeling clan to your own tent. You take your one remaining perfect yak hide. You begin to, very carefully, build a box, a shrine, a case. Because you cannot own this thing, you can only contain it, and you are for the first time deeply, deeply afraid of what happens if you drop it. You have just built a box. It's a box of yak hide, stretched over a frame of scavenged wood, but you have lined it with the softest, cleanest, white rabbit furs you could find. It is not a case. It is a shrine. You take a deep, ragged breath. You are the keeper. You pick up the Star Eater. It feels cold. Not the alien, heat-drinking cold of the original stone, but a new, heavy, final cold. It is humming even at rest. A low, vibrating bzzz that you can feel in your wrist. You lay it in the fur-lined box. You close the lid. And the hum stops, just cuts off. The silence is so sudden, so total, that your ears ring. You put your hand on the lid. You can feel it, a faint, angry, thrumming, like a giant wasp trapped in a jar. But the sound is gone, the pressure in your teeth is gone. You feel light. You feel empty. You step out of your tent, the box clutched in your hand, and you freeze. The camp is gone. No, not gone. Moved. You stare, Your mind, which has been focused on fire, metal, and sand for a moon, struggling to understand. Your tent, your ruined skyforge, your apprentice's small sad tent, they are now alone. The rest of the clan. They have moved their entire camp, every tent, every animal, every drying rack, a clean 100 yards to the east. You are still you, but you are no longer us. You, your forge, and your terrible humming box have been surgically excised. You are no longer in the camp. You are next to the camp. You are a new, strange, dangerous organ that has grown on the side of the clan, and they have instinctively redrawn the map of your world to accommodate this new, terrifying thing. You are protected, you are isolated. Your apprentice, who has, thankfully, not fainted again, sees you. He is carrying a wooden bowl. He walks toward you but stops a solid 10 feet away. He doesn't look you in the eye. He just looks at the box in your hand, and his face goes pale. He places the bowl on the frozen dirt, and then he bows. A low, scraping, formal bow. This is the boy who, a moon ago, used to steal your jerky and mock your singing. Keeper, he mutters, to the ground. Your food. He scurries away, not walks. You look at the bowl. It's millet, but it's covered in the clan's precious winter store of dried berries. And there's a piece of jerky in it so large it's insulting. This is not a meal. This is an offering. This is your new life. You are the high priest of a new fiery one-blade religion. You are the Nubatama Hephaestus, the essential, the magical, the lame. This is the mainstream historical fact of what you've become. In countless early societies, smiths were not just laborers. They were a caste. They held the ultimate, terrifying secret: transformation. They could take dead, cold earth and, with fire and a secret knowledge, turn it into a thing: a pot, a needle, a sword. They were masters of fire, and that made them dangerous. They were often isolated, living on the edge of the village just as you are now. They were respected, they were essential, and they were deeply, deeply feared. Historians still argue whether the isolation of these ancient smithing castes was self-imposed, a deliberate union-like move to protect their valuable trade secrets and mystical brand, or if it was externally imposed by a populace that was genuinely terrified of them. Was it a keep them out or a keep us away situation? You are living the answer. It is both. You are staying away from them because, after what you've seen, after what you've held, they seem small. Their concerns about goats and millet seem flat, and they are staying away from you because you are the man who cut iron like air. You are the man who burned the winter and, instead of being punished, was rewarded by the gods with a singing star. You are a divine liability. What happens if you get angry? What happens if you sneeze? This is the burden, the knowledge. It's not just how to build a skyforge. It's not just quench in sour milk or grind with sand. This is the quirky, terrible tidbit. The real burden is the hum. You can't get it out of your head. You are sitting in your tent, the Star Eater silent in its box, but you can still hear it. It's a ghost in your teeth, a cosmic tinnitus. You hear the bees when you try to sleep. You wake sweating, your arm tensed, thinking the blade is loose. You are now ruined for the normal world. You tap a bronze pot, and it just clinks. A dull, dead, stupid sound. You are offended by its lack of resonance. You, who have held a tuning fork forged from a star, are now deaf to the simple, mundane music of your own world. That is the isolation. You are the only one and your poor pale apprentice the learner who knows. You have heard the voice of the sky beast, and now all earthly voices are just noise. You are Tarn, the first keeper. You are the most respected, most protected, most lonely man in the world. Your new life has a rhythm. It's a rhythm of silence, isolation, and offerings. You, Tarn, the keeper, are the most revered and the most untouchable man on the steppe. You don't smith anymore. You don't do anything. Your apprentice, the learner, maintains the new, smaller, respectable forge, mending the mundane bronze pots and iron needles. He is your buffer. He speaks to the clan. You just exist. You are the living guardian of the box. And the hum, the ghost hum in your teeth. It never leaves. Weeks pass. The snows melt. The first, thin, green grass of spring is pushing through the mud, and with the spring come the traders. This is the mainstream historical fact. No nomadic group is truly an island. You rely on trade. You trade your hides, your fermented milk, your jerky, for the things you can't make: salt, bronze, grain, and of course the occasional, priceless, lumpy bar of Southland iron. A small caravan of the Red Kites, a neighboring clan you have traded with and occasionally feuded with for generations, approaches. But this time it's different. Your clan, the Nubatama, meet them, but they meet them far from the camp, a solid half-mile away. The Red Kites think this is odd, suspicious. And where is the smith? Tarn, the man they always haggle with over metal? The Nubatama are weird. They are quiet. They seem scared. They make their trades quickly, their eyes constantly glancing back toward their own camp. And what is that smell? A faint, lingering scent of burnt dairy and sulfur, clinging to the Nubatama's new sacred forge mound, which they have now roped off and covered in offering stones. The Red Kites are practical. They are greedy, and they are suspicious. They know something happened. They saw the sky fall last winter. Everyone on the steppe did. They saw the green-scarred sky. And now, the Nubatama, who were always just there, are acting like a clan that has a new, secret god. And where there's a god, there's treasure. They leave. But they are not done. The rumor they build is simple. The Nubatama found a sky treasure, a huge lump of silver, or maybe cold iron, and they are hoarding it. They are weak. They are scared of their own prize. It's ripe for the taking. A week later, they come back. Not the traders, the raiders. It's a moonless, starless night. A perfect night for theft. A dozen of them, silent as shadows, armed with bronze-tipped spears and crude iron knives. They bypass the main Nubatama camp, the one with the goats and the tents. That's not the prize. They are moving, silent and low, toward the other camp, the isolated one. Your tent, the shrine. They are fools. They are walking into a church, expecting a bank. You are asleep. You are dreaming of the hum, and then you are not dreaming. The box is in your tent. It's been silent for a moon. Beezizm. It's not a loud hum. It's a low, angry, vibrating growl, like a watchdog asleep in its fur-lined box that has just smelled a wolf. This is the quirky tidbit. The Star Eater is awake. You sit up, your heart a cold stone in your chest. The blade knows. You hear it. A snick of a hide tent rope being cut. Your rope. You don't have time to be a warrior. You are a smith. You just act. You yell. A loud, ugly, "Get out!" And you scramble, not for the box, but just away. You burst out of your tent, rolling into the mud, just as 3 of the Red Kite raiders tear the flap open. They see you, the soot-covered, half-naked, terrified smith. You are not what they expected. They laugh. The Sky Iron, the leader, hisses, pushing you back with his spear. Where? Get out! You scream, not at them, but to your clan. The main Nubatama camp explodes with light and sound, but it's not what you expect. They light torches. They run toward you, but they don't attack the raiders. They stop. They form a ring. A wide, terrified cordon of 50 people holding torches, watching. They are not here to fight the Red Kites. They are here to contain the god. They are more afraid of you and your box than they are of the 12 raiders. The Red Kite leader sees this. He grins. Your people won't even help you. They are afraid. He and his men push into your tent. You hear them ransacking it. It's not here. It's the box. The box. The leader emerges holding the yak-hide, fur-lined shrine. He opens it. He looks inside. This? He scoffs. This is your treasure? A sword? He pulls the Star Eater out, and gives nothing. It's just a heavy, ugly, patterned, black-hilted sword. It's cold, it's silent. The raider laughs. He is holding a god, and he doesn't know it. You Nubatama are fools. You built a shrine for a... And then because he is a warrior and he is insulted by this thing, he swings it. A mocking, lazy, arrogant arc. Busy. The sound. The world. It's not the hum you made. You swung it with respect, he swung it with contempt. And the Star Eater answers. It's not a hum, it's a scream. A deafening, bone-shattering physical wave of sound that makes the air shudder. The torches in the Nubatama's hands flicker. The raider holding it drops. He doesn't drop the sword. He drops. He is on his knees, both hands clamped over his ears, his eyes wide, screaming in pure, auditory agony. The other raiders 10 feet away are all on the ground, whimpering, disoriented. The blade thudding into the mud is still resonating, a long, low, dying bzzz. The silence that follows is absolute. Historians still argue whether the Nubatama's legendary invincibility, whispered about in later Steppe chronicles, was due to their actual use of the star blades in battle, or, as this moment proves, their complete mastery of psychological warfare. Did they ever cut anyone, or did they just have to swing? Old Bone, the shaman, walks forward past her kneeling, terrified clan. She walks into the cordon right up to the kneeling, whimpering, broken leader of the Red Kites. You touched the fang, she hisses, her voice a cold, sharp, iron thing. You woke it. You insulted it. The leader just vomits. From pure, sonic, spiritual shock. The raid is over. It is the most disastrous and brutally repelled raid in human history. The surviving raiders don't even look at the Nubatama. They scramble to their feet. They grab their leader. And they run. They run, leaving their spears, their knives. Everything. They just flee the sound. You, Tarn, are shaking. You walk forward. You pick up the Star Eater from the mud. It is humming again, a low, angry, satisfied growl. You wipe the mud off. You place it in the box. The silence. The Nubatama watch. You have not been raided. You have been vindicated. The secret of the metal is safe. The legend of the blade is now unstoppable. You are Tarn, the keeper, and you are standing in the muddy, raider-free zone of your isolation. The Star Eater is back in its fur-lined box, its angry, trapped wasp thrum, a silent weight in your hand. The Red Kites are gone, vanishing into the night, their screams fading into a satisfying memory. The Nubatama, your clan, are still standing in their perfect 100-yard-away circle, holding their torches. They are watching you, and the vibe, as you've come to call it, has changed again. The fear is still there. Oh yes, that's not going anywhere. But now, it's mixed with something else. A new, terrifying, corporate pride. Your people, the Nubatama, the scruffy, overlooked, just trying to survive clan just won. They just repelled a dozen armed raiders, without firing an arrow, without throwing a spear, without losing a single goat. They just stood back, held the lights, and watched the shaman scold the enemy leader as he vomited from sonic spiritual shock. This is a paradigm shift. You have not given them a weapon. You have given them deterrence. Old Bone, the shaman, walks toward you. She, as always, stops at the polite 10-foot distance. She is not looking at you. She is looking at the box. It is confirmed, she says, her voice a low, satisfied purr. You have never heard her sound satisfied. It's unsettling. The fang protects, she continues. Its voice is our wall. Its hunger is our shield. It woke up, you mutter, remembering the BZZMM in your tent before the raiders cut the rope. Of course, she says, as if this is obvious. A god always knows when it is being robbed. It sleeps, keeper, but it is not deaf. She has a point. An absolutely terrifying, makes you never want to sleep again point. And this is where the new ironclad doctrine is born. Right here in the mud at 3 a.m. Old Bone points a bony finger at the box. It must never be used in war. You blink. That is the opposite of what you expected. What? But we just won. You are a fool, Tarn, she says. back to her old, familiar refrain. You see a sword? I see a catastrophe. What you heard tonight? That scream? That was the insulted voice. What do you think a wounded voice sounds like? An angry voice? She paints the picture. A real battle, a melee. 50 men, 100 men screaming, clashing. And you are in the middle of it, she hises. You swing the fang. The BZ Zam goes off. Who does it hit? The enemy? Or our sons? Our dogs? You? She's right. The sound? It's a weapon of mass disorientation. It's a flashbang in your own living room. In the chaos of a real fight, it would be as dangerous to your own side as to the enemy. And, she adds, her voice dropping, it is heavy. You are a smith, Tarn, not a dancer. What if you miss? What if you are slow? What if a boy with a fast bronze spear takes it from you? The blood drains from your face. Losing it, the fang, the god, captured. The spiritual humiliation would be the end of your people. The clan would dissolve. No, she concludes. It is not a tool for war. It is too valuable. It is too dangerous. It is too loud. It is, in every way, a failure as a battlefield weapon. This is the mainstream historical fact. Many of the most legendary high-status weapons in history were, in fact, regalia. They were symbols of power, not tools of it. They were built for the throne room, not the battlefield. So, what? What is it for, you ask, clutching the box. Old Bone smiles, a thin, dry, terrifying smile. It is for this, she says, sweeping her arm at the fleeing memory of the red kites. It is for intimidation. Its story is the weapon. The sound is the weapon. Its voice is our wall. And it is for ritual. This is the quirky tidbit. Its new job. 2 moons later, the rains haven't come. The steppe is dry. The animals are thin. A drought spirit is clinging to the Nubatama. Old Bone announces the ritual of the blade. The entire clan gathers at the barrow forge, the shrine mound. They are silent, faces tight with fear. You, the keeper, are summoned. You walk in slow processional steps, holding the fur-lined box. You stand next to the shaman. She chants. She shakes her mended drum. She calls out the drought spirit, naming it, challenging it, and then she nods to you. You do not swing the blade. You do not draw the blade. You just open the box. Click. The faint, trapped wasp thrumming, the low, resonant bzzz leaks into the dry, still air. The clan flinches. They can hear it. They can feel the potential of the sound, the threat. You are holding the leash of a god. The shaman points her stick at the sky. The fang is awake, wind spirit, she screams. It is hungry. It ate the iron. It screamed at the raiders. Leave or it will cut the wind from your throat. You just stand there, holding an open box. That night, the threat works. The wind shifts. Clouds roll in. It rains. Of course it does. The shaman commanded it, and the Star Eater was her muscle. Historians still argue whether the elaborate regalia of early kings, the impossibly heavy gold crowns, the jewel-encrusted scepters that would break if you hit anything, were ever meant to be used, or if their impracticality was the entire point. Was it a symbol of power because it was useless for labor, proving the owner was above it? You, Tarn, are the living proof. The Star Eater is the ultimate scepter. It is not a sword. It's a symbol of your covenant with the angry, noisy sky. And your job, your entire job, is to be the guy who polishes the scepter, who holds the box, and who never, ever has to use it. Your power is potential. Your blade is a threat. Your greatest victory will be to die of old age, having never drawn it in anger again. You have a new name, the Keeper. You have a new job, holding a box during a drought. You have a new social status, revered, untouchable, and utterly, totally alone. This is your life. You are the high priest of the BZMM. And you are, for the first time in your memory, safe. The clan is fed. The rains came. The red kites are just a bad, humiliating memory for them. You, Tarn, have done it. You have protected your people. So, why can't you sleep? This is the curse. the poison the later legends will whisper about. It's not a thing that happens. It's not a moment. It's a drip, a slow, steady erosion of you. It starts with the hum. The Star Eater is in its box across your tent on its own fur-lined altar. It's silent, but it's not. You can still feel it. Remember that ghost hum in your teeth? The cosmic tinnitus? It's not a ghost anymore. It's a presence. It is the permanent, low-level thrum of your entire world. You have lived with a god for a moon, and now your nerves are permanently tuned to its frequency. You lie on your furs. The camp is silent. The steppe is silent, but your bones are humming. Beezizim. 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 It's the new rhythm of your heart. Sleep does not come. How can it? You are the man guarding the god, and you know that God woke up when the raiders got close. So, you have to stay awake. You have to listen. You are the clan's sentinel. You are exhausted. Your body is wrecked, not from the forge, but from the tension. Your apprentice, the learner, brings you your offering bowl of millet and berries. You are staring at the box. He is 10 feet away, and he sneezes. A normal, human, dusty tent sneeze. You explode. You are on your feet, your hand not on a weapon but on the box, your other hand raised, a snarl on your face. Get back! The learner freezes. He drops the bowl. Millet and berries spray across the dirt. He looks at you, his eyes wide with a new terror. Not the awe of the smith, not the fear of the raiders. This is the terror of a boy looking at a mad dog. You see his face. You see the fear. You look down. Your hand is white, clamped on the fur-lined box. You are protecting it. From him. From a sneeze. The rage drains away, replaced by a cold, black, horrifying shame. You just did that. Clean it up, you mutter, your voice a rasp. You turn away. You can't look at him. He doesn't clean it up. He just runs. This is the poison. This is the curse. This is the darker legend. It's not that the blade is evil. It's that the blade is divine, and proximity to the divine is toxic to mortals. This is the mainstream historical fact. The keepers of sacred relics, the guardians of the tabernacle, the priests of the inner sanctum, they are always set apart. They are bound by 1,000 rules. They must be pure. They cannot be touched. And that isolation, that apartness, that crushing weight of responsibility, it changes a person. It breaks them. It makes them paranoid. It makes them strange. Historians and psychologists still argue whether the curses associated with famous artifacts, the Hope Diamond, the tomb of Tutankhamun, are real supernatural forces, or if they are simply the inevitable, tragic human response to a world-changing stress. Is the Star Eater poisoning your mind? Or is your mind simply breaking under the 24/7, sleepless, high-stakes pressure of being the sole guardian of the Nubatama's one and only nuclear god? The result, frankly, is exactly the same. You are possessive. You are paranoid. You are not Tarn anymore. And this is the quirky, fringe part of the legend, the part your clan will whisper generations from now. You, Tarn, are the first keeper. You are the smith. You are strong. Your poison is just sadness, paranoia, a bad temper. But the third keeper, the one who was born into the role, the one who never forged the blade, who never knew it as rock, as the one who only knew it as a god, the legends say he went mad. The legends say he listened to the hum. The legends say the Bizam became a voice. The legends say the Star Eater missed the taste of iron. The legends say it missed the scream of the red kites. The legends say the blade is hungry. The shaman named it. She was too right, and it begged the third keeper in his dreams to feed it. That is the curse. The blade sings to its keeper, and the song is one of hunger. You are the first. You are still fighting. You sit in your tent, your back against a pole. You are watching the box. The thrum is in your jaw. You are lonely. And without thinking, you start to hum, a low, tuneless in your throat. You are matching its frequency. You are harmonizing with the star spirit. It feels good. It feels right. It's the only voice that understands you. The learner comes back. He has a new bowl of millet. He is forced to. It's his job. He stops at the tent flap. He sees you, Tarn, the keeper, sitting in the gloom, rocking, humming in perfect, resonant time with the box. He doesn't even enter. He just places the offering on the ground outside your tent, and he runs. The poison has set. The keeper is no longer the guardian of the god. You are its first worshipper. You are Tarn, the first keeper, and you are humming. You are sitting in your tent, your back to the flap, rocking in the gloom, harmonizing with the angry, trapped star spirit in the box. The boy, the learner, your apprentice. He leaves the offering of millet and berries outside your tent. He is terrified of you, and in that moment, in that fear, the Nubatama forging technique dies. It doesn't die with a bang. It dies with a whimper. You, Tarn, are the only one who saw the vision. You are the only one who designed the sky forge. You are the only one who felt the 30-second window of the white-hot metal. You are the only one who knows the true recipe. The river clay, the yak hair, the four bellows vortex, the sour milk quench, the sand and grease polish. This is the mainstream historical fact. This knowledge is not simple. It is a complex, multi-step, deeply counterintuitive process. It's not a recipe, it's a PhD thesis. And who have you taught? No one. You taught the learner how to serve you. You taught him how to pump a bellows. You taught him how to fear the hum. You have not at any point sat him down and said, "Now this is how you build a 1500-degree vertical shaft blast furnace from mud and grass." You are a keeper, not a teacher. You are a high priest, and you have jealously, paranoidly guarded the secret of your god's birth. You will die, Tarn. You will die of old age, of exhaustion, of the constant nerve-shredding hum in your bones. You will be found, cold, in your tent, one hand still resting on the fur-lined box. The clan will mourn. The shaman, Old Bones' replacement, the new shaman, will perform the rites. And the learner, he will become the second keeper. But what has he inherited? He has not inherited the knowledge. He has inherited the box. He has inherited the ritual. He has inherited the curse. His job is not to make another blade. His job is to protect the one. And this is the central tragic irony. The Nubatama cannot make another one. It is blasphemy. The Star Eater is not a tool. It is a god. It is the fang of the sky beast. It is a unique artifact. You don't forge a god. A god arrives. To try and replicate it, that would be the ultimate arrogant human insult. It would be a parody. It would be telling the true God, you are not special. I can make another one of you. Out of mud. The new religion, the one you created, Tarn, forbids the very technology that enabled it. This is the quirky tidbit. The learner, the second keeper, finds your old, original, mad-scrawled drawing of the sky forge, the one you drew in the ash and then copied in charcoal onto a single precious yak hide. The learner does not see a blueprint. He does not see an engineering diagram. He sees Holy Scripture. He sees a sacred symbol. He sees a magical drawing of a tower that summons a god. He doesn't understand the angles of the tuyères. He doesn't understand the ratio of the fuel. He prays to it. He hangs it in the keeper's tent. He worships the schematic. The engineering is dead. The theology is all that remains. And this is why the forging process suddenly ceased, leaving no apprentices. Historians still argue whether the Nubatama lost the forging technique, or if they deliberately destroyed it. Did the knowledge simply atrophy? Did the second keeper, a man of faith, not a man of fire, simply forget the complex process? Did he fail to pass it on because he couldn't? Or was it suppressed? This is the darker theory. This is the one that hinges on the curse, the legend of the third keeper, the one who went mad, the one who listened to the hum and heard a voice. The legend says he is the one who suddenly ceased the lineage. He was so paranoid. He was so terrified of a rival blade. He was so convinced that the Star Eater's voice was begging him not to birth a brother, that in a fit of mad religious possessive ecstasy, he burned the yak hide blueprint. He smashed the ruins of the original barrow forge. and he refused on pain of death to ever take an apprentice. He murdered the knowledge. He chose to be the last of the line. When he died, he took the secret of the Skyforge with him, leaving the Nubatama with a god they could worship but never, ever understand. You are no longer Tarn. Tarn is a ghost. Tarn is a legend. His name, the Keeper, is a title, passed down through generations, a burden of cold, divine paranoia. You are a Nubatama. It is 200 years after the Skyforge screamed, and your life is quiet. Too quiet. This is your world. You live in the shadow of the legend. The Nubatama, your people, are no longer a scrappy clan of herders. You are a religious order. You are the keepers of the Fang. Your entire identity, your entire culture, has reformed itself around the box and the man, the ninth keeper now, who guards it. Your camp is no longer a camp, it's a shrine. The old slumped vitrified barrow forge is your holy mountain. The keeper's tent is the inner sanctum. And you are a curator. You are not a warrior. You are not a raider. You are not a smith. You are a priest. Your job is to be quiet so you don't disturb the keeper, who is listening to the god. This is the mainstream historical fact. Cultural overspecialization. Your people, the Nubatama, became so defined by their one miracle, their one god weapon, that they lost the ability to do anything else. Your deterrent worked too well. The story of the red kites is now the most famous, most effective ghost story on the steppe. Do not mess with the Nubatama. Their god screams and makes you vomit. Their shaman scolds you. No one raids you. No one ever raids you, but no one trades with you either. Not really. They come, they leave their offerings of salt, of iron, of grain, at a safe distance, and they leave. Quickly. You are not a people. You are a boogeyman. You are isolated, and in isolation, you stagnate. This is the quirky, tragic tidbit. The vanishing of the Nubatama isn't a war. It's not a plague. It's an evaporation. The red kites? Their great-great-grandchildren have forgotten the sound. They just know the story. And in the 200 years you've been praying to your blade, they have been smithing. They haven't been making star metal. They've been making lots and lots of good, crude, effective earth iron. They have thousands of mundane spears. You have one magic sword. They have music. They have festivals. They have loud, angry, normal fights. Your camp is silent, tense, and holy, and your children, they are bored. They are bored of the silence. They are bored of the fear. They are bored of the keeper, the ninth, a very twitchy, hume-obsessed man, shushing them. And so, one by one, they leave. A girl falls in love with a red kite trader. A boy gets tired of being a priest and decides he'd rather be a warrior. The Nubatama vanish because your children walk away. They are absorbed. They assimilate. They marry out. They join the louder, stronger, less magical clans. They trade their holy, boring birthright for a normal life. You haven't been conquered. You have been obsoleted. Historians still argue whether the Nubatama were wiped out in a single, unrecorded battle, a final desperate ritual of the blade that was met by 100 deaf archers, or if they willed themselves into oblivion. This is the second darker theory of the vanishing, the last keeper, the 10th, the final one. He is an old man. He sits in the tent. The hum is his only friend. His clan, it's gone. It's 4 old women and him. The young have all left. They are red kites now. They live over the hill. The Red Kite Confederation, they are a nation now, sends its final, kindest message. Old fathers, old mothers, come, live with us. Your children are here. We will give you honor. Bring your old stories. Bring your fang. It will be safe in our treasury. The 4 old women, they go. They are tired. They want to see their grandchildren. The 10th keeper cannot. He is not a man. He is a keeper. His entire identity is the curse. To put the Star Eater in a red kite treasury, a mundane box, next to gold and iron, it is blasphemy. It is the end of the world. The Nubatama people, they are fine. They are thriving as red kites. The Nubatama religion is now just him. So, he vanishes. One night, the 10th keeper, the last true Nubatama, takes the fur-lined box. He does not go to the red kite camp. He walks away. He walks into the deep, empty, silent steppe. He walks toward the old stories, toward the crater, toward the wind. He is taking his God home. He is taking it out of history to protect it from the mundane living world. He walks into a fog, or a snowstorm, or a deep, peaty bog. And he, the box, the hum, and the secret are gone. The Nubatama did not fall. They faded. They are a note that ends, a hum that just stops, and the steppe is silent. The steppe is silent. The 10th keeper is a story. The story is a ghost. The ghost is forgotten. You are walking, but you are not the keeper. The keeper is gone, swallowed by the wet, peaty earth, his God box clutched to his chest, a final, futile act of preservation. He and the hum have been silent for 1,000 years. The world moved on. The red kites became a nation. The nation fell. The world was conquered by horses, and then by engines. And now there is just the cold and the wind. The wind is still here. It still scours. It still whistles over the high, cold plateau. But you are not a Nubatama. You don't care about the wind. You are cold, you are tired, and you are not a priest. You are a peat cutter. Your name is not important. Your concerns are immediate, just as Tarn's were, but they are mundane. Your concerns are the price of fuel, the hole in your boot, and the biting, wet cold that seeps into your bones from the ground up. You are cutting fuel from the earth, the final, mundane echo of the Nubatama's own desperate, practical life. You stand in the bog. It's a vast, brown, treeless expanse of nothing. But this nothing is your life. This is the Nubatama's ancient, lost homeland, and it has spent the last 1,000 years slowly turning their ghosts into fuel. This is the mainstream historical fact of your world. A peat bog is a time capsule. The cold, acidic, low-oxygen water creates a perfect anaerobic environment. It tans leather. It preserves wood. It pickles bodies, turning them into dark, leathery statues. It is a museum, and you are its curator, one shovelful at a time. Your shovel is iron. A broad, flat, mundane iron shovel. Not a god, just a tool. Schlup. You slice a long, black, wet brick. Schlup. You heave it. It is heavy. Clunk. Your shovel hits something. You stop. You sigh. A rock. A buried rock in a peat bog is a curse. It means you have to dig around it. It means your perfect, straight cutting wall is ruined. You kneel, grumbling, and begin to dig at the rock with your gloved, wet hands. The black, cold, acidic mud sucks at your fingers, and you touch leather, not rock, leather. You frown. You found things before, a deer antler, a broken pot. But this is stiff, this is stitched. You dig around it, your heart, which was just tired, now pounding. It is a box of thick, dark brown tanned hide, stitched with something. Sinew. It is impossibly perfectly preserved. It is the bog leather of legend, and it is heavy. You put your shovel under it and pry. It resists. It's like the bog wants to keep it. With a final grunting, sucking sound, it comes free. You heave this black, muddy, heavy thing onto the bank. It is just a box, maybe a foot wide, 3 feet long. It is ancient. It is a treasure. Historians and archaeometallurgists still argue whether the Nubatama's legendary rust-proof blades were a myth, or if the specific anaerobic, acidic tanning properties of the peat bogs where they were lost were solely responsible for their preservation. You are about to settle that argument. Your hands are shaking. Gold? Silver? No. You cut the ancient, tanned bog sinew stitches with your modern, mundane steel pocket knife. The lid, stiff and warped, comes off. You look inside. You see fur. Brown, stained, matted fur. The lining of the box. And inside the fur is a thing. It is not a rusted, crumbling, orange-brown mess. Iron dissolves in a bog. It vanishes. This is black. An oily, perfect, impossible black. You reach in. Your fingers touch metal. It is cold. But it's not the cold of the bog. It's the cold of a tomb. You lift it. And Oh, the weight. It's too heavy. It's heavier than your shovel. It's heavier than iron. You pull it free from its fur-lined coffin, a sword. The hilt is stone, a polished black rock, the stone wood, that hasn't rotted or changed in 1,000 years. The wrap, the lightning sinew, is a dark, hard, tanned leather-like cord, and the blade. This is the quirky scientific tidbit. It is perfect. It is not rusted. Why? Because it's not iron, not earth iron. It is a high nickel, low-carbon meteorite. It is, in its very celestial nature, rust-resistant. It is an ancient alien stainless steel. The bog did not preserve it. The bog protected it from people. The metal preserved itself. The black, oily bog muck wipes away, and you see it, faint, like a ghost. But there, a pattern, a spiderweb, a map. You are a simple man. You are a peat cutter. You are holding a king's sword. You look around. You are alone. The wind whistles, and because you are a man, and you have just found a sword, you stand up. You grip the cold, abrasive hilt. You lift it, and you swing it. Just a once. A small testing what is this thing arc. Bzzz. It is not a scream. It is not a roar. It is a ghost. It is a whisper. It is the sound of a wasp trapped in a jar 1,000 years ago. A faint, cold, undead, impossible hum. You drop it. You scream. You scramble back, falling into the wet, cold peat. You are staring at the blade. It is lying on the ground, silent, black, and perfect. You have just found the Star Eater, and you have just woken it up. You are not Tarn. You are not the keeper. You are the peat cutter, and you are on your back in a cold, wet ditch, your heart trying to escape your chest. You are staring at the thing you pulled from the mud, the black, patterned, perfect, humming sword. You are a simple man. You know stories. You know old stories. You know the stories your grandmother told you, the local stories, the don't go to the Barrow Mound stories, the stories of the Silent Tones, the Wind Worshippers, the Nubatama. They were just stories, ghost stories. Eat your millet, or the wind spirit will get you. You are looking at a prop from that ghost story, and it hummed. You scramble, crab walk, and run. You leave your shovel. You leave your jacket. You run screaming all the way back to your village, your lungs on fire. You have just done the exact same thing the Red Kite Raiders did 1,000 years before. You have been repelled, not by a man, but by a sound. You are not the peat cutter. You are you. You are in a laboratory. A clean, white, sterile 21st century laboratory, filled with the gentle, non-supernatural hum of air conditioners and HEPA filters. You are a scientist, an archaeometallurgist. You are the person they call when the legends get weird. And on your sterile steel table under a perfectly calibrated non-glare light is the thing, the Nubatama blade, the bog sword. It is the most famous, most baffling, most frustrating object in your world. You, a practical, logical, you, are in charge of it. This is the mainstream historical fact. You are about to confirm its origin. You take a sample, a tiny sample, a microscopic scraping, a non-destructive pinprick taken under immense pressure from the museum's board of directors. You are not allowed to hurt the god. You put this speck of dust into your multi-million-dollar machine, a mass spectrometer. You are going to unmake its elemental signature. The results come back. You look at the graph. You are not Tarn. You are not a shaman. You are a scientist and your hands are shaking. Hands. The graph is a lie. It's impossible. 92.1% iron, 7.5% nickel, 0.4% cobalt, traces of phosphorus and gallium. This is not earth iron. Earth iron doesn't have this much nickel, not even close. This is the exact, unmistakable chemical fingerprint of a type Iva octahedrite meteorite. It is 100% without a shadow of a doubt, not from this planet. The legend, the myth, the fang of the sky beast, you just proved it. It is a fang. From the sky. Historians and folklorists still argue whether the Nubatama were a single, isolated cult who found one meteorite, or if they were part of a vast, prehistoric, pan-continental sky-worshipping culture that spanned the globe, from the Inuit, who also used meteoritic iron tools, to the Egyptians. Was Tarn's discovery a unique event, or just the only one that was so dramatic? You, the scientist, are now holding the report, the fact. And now, the quirky, baffling tidbit. You, the engineer half of your brain, are now looking at the blade. The report is easy. The object is impossible. How did a Bronze Age, early Iron Age culture, a people living in mud and grass huts, forge this? You know the metallurgy. This high-nickel alloy is hard. It is brittle when cold, it is gummy and fractures when hot. You couldn't forge this in your modern lab, not without a vacuum induction furnace and argon shielding. Tarn just did it. With a mud tower and 4 angry men. And the edge, you put it under the electron microscope. The edge is perfect, it is not a wedge, it is a convex, lapped microstructure. You see, scratches, micro abrasions, and you realize with a dawning, cold, horrified respect, they did it with sand. They sharpened a meteorite, with sand and grease, the patience, the obsession, the sheer religious, terrifying, mule-headed stubbornness. You and your white lab coat just sit down. You have been humbled. You are a smith. Tarn was an artist. And you are you. You are back in your own comfortable 21st century. Now, you are here. And the story is over. Tarn, the smith. His story is finished. The Star Eater. Its story is not. It is sitting right now in that museum. It is in a sterile, climate-controlled, argon-filled glass box. It is safe. It is contained. The sign next to it is a masterpiece of scientific, academic understatement. It says, Nubatama ceremonial blade, circa 800 BC, mixed media, meteoritic iron, petrified wood, sinew, ceremonial blade. The scientists, the historians, they all agree. They know the truth of the ritual of the blade. This was not a war sword. It was a scepter. It was a symbol. It was deterrence. Tarn's final, greatest victory is you. The fact that you are not a Nubatama. The fact that his children left. That is why the blade survived. The 10th keeper didn't fail. He succeeded. He saved the blade in the only way he could. He gave it to the bog. He gave it to time. He gave it to us. Tarn's story is done. The Nubatama's story is done. The wind still blows. The hum is silent. Wind down begins here. And so, the journey is over. You can feel the present, the solid real world, begin to filter back in. The hum of your own technology, the refrigerator, the fan, the distant mundane traffic, replaces the bzzm of the Star Eater. The story fades, the edges blurring, leaving behind the cold, hard fact of the legend. The light in your room is no longer the white-hot glare of the Skyforge. It's just light. The hum is gone. The ghost in your teeth has faded. The paranoia, the fear, the weight of the keeper. It's all just a story. Tarn is at peace. The 10th keeper is at peace. And the blade, it is finally silent. A god, asleep in a glass box. The peat cutter's fear, the scientist's awe, the smith's obsession. It all just settles like dust onto the quiet, finished narrative. The Nubatama are gone, but their one true thing. Their miracle. It remains. And it remains, because in the end, the story was true. Wind down ends. Dim the lights. Maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum. And let's ease into tonight's journey together. Oh, wait. We're already at the end, I suppose. All that's left to do is to let the silence settle. Let the legend become a memory. Let the hum fade completely. Let the story end.